Yeah, definitely. At least two outliers, right? Our pro league participants, definitely wild card under that organization, and then the Radiance members as well from at least 2019. So it certainly has been interesting. I mean, shoot to kill, Dave. If you recall, they had a really tough PGS qualifiers. Not to beat a dead horse in that sense,
Yeah.
but to kind of display how they've turned things around, right? That wasn't really the shoot to kill that we knew. Now things are kind of back to form, right? They're positioning themselves very nicely, at least coming into the second week of play. But then, yeah, Oath Gaming, I think, they're kind of a team that we've seen this roster before, but Snakers consistently goes off and off and off. And as one of the youngest players still in the competitive scene for PUBG, it's pretty exciting to watch.
Popping off 24/7, and hopefully they can maintain that. I mean, we're only, like we mentioned, one day into the event. This is going to be day number 2 for this region. Hopefully they can maintain their lead, and this wasn't just a one lucky day, right? And hopefully they have that consistency moving forward. And like you mentioned, that team, that roster will be turning some heads.
That's what we're going to be looking for. So, not just North American teams that are going to be participating here in the Americas Season 2 for the 303 Pro League, we've also got teams from the Oceanic region, Atletico, Ferox, as well as Team Bliss. I mean, Dave, these are some rosters that we've also seen over the course of competitive PUBG that have been pretty explosive in terms of their performance.
Yeah, and I like that. I like that this isn't just USA teams against each other. Like it's North America. We got SNG. You mentioned Atletico. Like I feel like that's gonna switch some things up and create like a blender, like a nice little banana split smoothie. Because most of the time, if these teams are scrimming against each other, they're not scrimming against teams from other regions or continents. So it is
Right.
going to be nice. Last week was probably the surprise. When it comes to teams dropping where and whatnot. Hopefully, these teams went back, watched the VODs, or done their research, and they are a little more prepared here today. So today, I'm gonna guess it's gonna be a little more streamlined, at least when it comes to the beginning of the games, because these players they should be aware now exactly how everyone likes to play, how everyone likes to rotate, and hopefully they did their homework over the week.
That's what we're at least going to be looking out for. So not just oceanic teams that are going to be coming in here as well, Dave. Latin American teams. Some of these teams pretty incredible throughout their performance in season 1 of the 303 league. I mean, we've got Team Singularity showing up here, the Red Canids and Metagaming.
And it's looking good. It's looking good, Esquire. The only thing is they're not the top leaderboard. So if you are
Yep.
cheering up those teams, they're on the wrong side right now. But like I said, we're only one day in. You really can't judge. I want to say that the saying a book by its cover. I mean, after one day, you only looked at the cover. You didn't even get to page 10. So hopefully after today, or at least a chapter in this book that you and I are writing here this time around, and hopefully SNG and Red Canids they could make some waves.
Authored by Mustache Dave and Esquire. Let's
Someone in
get
the
into
chat called
today.
me pink-tailed mustache Dave. I don't know how I feel about that.
Wait, Pinktail or
Missing the chat.
Pigtail?
Pigtails, pigtails. What's that about? What
Pigtails.
the heck?
Oh, it's right. It's from that yearbook photo you posted, dude. I wonder if
Ah,
production could get that up maybe in between games number 1 and 2, because yeah, Dave, that was
no, 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 no,
that was
no.
a sight to be seen for sure.
That was me just saying I have a mustache. All right, it had nothing
You
to
know
do
when
with the
people
hair on the
tag a
top.
picture felt cute, might delete later. Like that's a delete later, dude. 100%.
Nah, that's listen. I had a mustache in seventh grade. Everyone, back off of me. All right.
If you don't know what we're talking about, head on over to at mustache Dave underscore on Twitter. Give that guy a follow. Check out his his yearbook picture. But Dave, let's talk about today. Some certainly interesting things going to be popping off already. The elephant in the room that at least the viewers might not know about yet is the
Uh-huh.
fact that we did have one team drop out and one team replace. The Houston Hardships are going to be coming in, and that's kind of exciting, especially with the waves that the Hardships have been making throughout at least the beginning of this year.
So I'm not exactly sure where the hardships queued up to be in the contenders 303. That might have been the case. So they were next in line, I guess, and then they got to replace. I would assume that's how it worked here. So hopefully, you know what? That's going to be a new addition to the lobby. It's going to shake some things up. I don't know. If you're a team coming in to the second week of the event, though, you're not going to have a chance to really loot where you want to loot. I feel like you're going to have to be forced to go for like the trash loot areas and kind of just, work with what you got here because last week everybody was able to kind of solidify their positions within the map. So if you are the hard shifts, I'm going to be looking to see exactly how they react to their early game strategies here.
Yeah, I mean, where exactly do the hard shifts fit inside of this lobby, which you kind of talked about, Dave, had already sort of found its groove, had already kind of at least tried to figure out what they were going to do this week based off of last week's occurrences. But all of that kind of gets thrown thrown away now that you have the hard shifts coming in. They're a powerful team, and a team that at least what you want to look for is when you see the hard shifts split out into a kind of not a for solo player strategy, but when they try to hold as much land as possible, as much territory as possible, and you see them get a little bit of distance between them, that's when they are most dangerous. That's when you know they're feeling very comfortable in their play, and at least traditionally have been able to capitalize on those opportunities. We'll see how today plays out for them. We'll see how it plays out for the rest of the lobby. Today's schedule is going to be exactly as you saw it last week. 2 games of Miramar as you heading saw into it last week. Sandhawk for 1 round, and then 3 games of Erangel back to back to back to cap off the afternoon. Oh, we're doing Erangel first. Okay, so we're doing 3 rounds of Erangel first. Production has updated us. That's kind of cool, Dave. We're gonna front load the OG map today.
Yeah, front load it. This is the map everyone's comfortable with. I do believe we're on Erangel 2.0 though. Thank goodness.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So hopefully these teams that are, like we mentioned on that second half of the page, on page number 10, they'll be able to recuperate any lost points from last week and then finish off on, Miramar with the Winchesters and all that good stuff. But I like how Sandhawk is right smack in the middle. I feel like this kind of like the halftime game, like the reset game. So in the first half, if you didn't do too well, you know what? It's Sandhawk time. Let's go in there. Let's frag out. Let's get some good placements and then finish off the day on a strong note. I really like Sandhawk because it's so different. So different
Sure.
compared to Miramar and Erangel. It's just like a refreshment for me, like a nice big 40-ounce cola.
Yeah, exactly. Of cola. But I mean, you're right, Dave. It does provide a little bit of a variety, and as they always say, time after time after time, variety is the spice of life, and that's exactly what Sandhawk gives you. But it's sort of been interesting, right? The points of contention in Sandhawk have at least adjusted for some teams, and that's going to be one map where the Houston Hardshifts could possibly be the most impactful force coming into this, that kind of unknown force as these teams were preparing, or certainly a different squad,
Yeah.
the Dragons this time around. But Erangel 2.0, yes, it is, and we are going to get game number 1 underway here very shortly.
When are we going to see Karrakin, 16 team lobby?
I don't
When are
know,
we gonna see
Dave.
that?
When are you going to make it happen? When are you going to lobby for that?
When I'm waiting for my lobby for fantasy mode still. They said they can't do it yet. I'm looking to make fantasy mode competitive, Esquire. I'm telling you. Every game mode should be competitive.
Every game mode should be competitive. Well, I mean, hey, Dave, you know what? You got the cloud. Make it happen. We'll see if we end up getting there. But welcome to game number 1. Yes, week 2 of the America's 303 Royale Season 2 event. Plane path is going to be favored down towards the southeastern side of Erangel, which does at least create a few problems from some of our teams that like to head all the way to the north and northwest, but shouldn't be necessarily too difficult for a majority of the lobby as we break into the afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, if I was just playing, I'm going military, I'm going Nova, and I'm not gonna look back. I'm gonna get that loot, and within maybe 5 minutes, make sure to transition on over the bridge. I mean, we'll see. Maybe we'll get a lucky circle down there. But looking at the map, Esquire, this for some reason it reminded me. Do you remember how long ago was this when people would swim or take a boat back to Spawn Island, and there was actually loot at Spawn Island? Do you remember
Yeah,
that? That was a
yeah,
long time ago.
it was a really long time ago. It was like, man, 2017 PUBG. But yeah, you would take the boat out to Spawn Island and you could pick up some loot.
Seriously?
I mean, obviously it wasn't like all of the guns on the table like you used to be able to do back before they even changed that. But I mean, there was definitely you had one of the barracks that you see in the C block down on Sosnovka. And I mean, it wasn't terrible loot. The big thing was though that you likely needed another gas can to get your boat back to the mainland of Erangel. But regardless, Dave, game number 1 is going to be underway, and quickly teams are already going to be hopping out of the plane to try to find those loot locations. STK going to be one of the first to glide up the west coast and try to find a spot to call home. Radiant's going to be following quickly thereafter, as other teams are pretty much going to be doing the same, most favoring the northern side of the plane path.
Yeah, a lot of teams dropping over there. I do see maybe one team eyeballing down there in military, but I'm actually surprised that I don't see anyone going down there right now. I'm not sure what that's about. Maybe teams just aren't, about that life, that military based life.
Well, maybe there's one, maybe there's two. We'll see how things
That's free
at
loot.
least. Yeah, hey, I mean, it's free route, but it is a more difficult rotation. And if you have to make your way back up north, Red Knid's going to be dropping right next to the members of the 303 Esports squad, already getting very close here near the Gatka area of the map. One of possibly the hottest drops that we're going to be seeing, at least in the early stages of game number 1. Boots are going to be on the ground, and UAZs are going to be stolen away from this area of the map where at least the Knids will likely be trying to find some separation here to comfortably loot phase 1.
And we do see that first circle, Esquire. I gotta say, I told him so, man. For some reason, Fuzzy Seal, he's our observer. He's like, listen, I set this circle, so circle number 1 goes to military base. Now the players are on a delay, so I guess they couldn't have heard me there. But looking around, everybody seems to be fairly decent. We got 303 kind of all split out there in those Gatka fields, and we got a team down here in Milta. I mean, everybody is just going to be able to get their loot. Doesn't really seem like there's any teams on the cusp of any type of conflict right now, which is good because that'll allow everybody that time, that much needed time, to hopefully get their gear that they desire.
Yeah, my eyes are mainly going to be on how these Eastern teams outside of phase number 1 are going to be reacting to this, whether or not they're going to dip down onto Sosnovka like we sort of started to mention at the beginning of the match and then try to come up through the Western Bridge, or whether or not they'll try to take a northern approach and then drop down. But certainly maybe some conflict that could start to at least align itself on that side of the map. Over here in the mansion, we've got at least one of our squads, Furix, going to be holding on to this position. One of the Eastern teams that we had just talked about that are possibly going to be faced off with a decision to have to make, Dave, as to where they approach.
Sweet Soul 7 over there. And then Grumps, not with an S, but a Z. I do like how Mansion, it looks a lot rustic. It looks more rustic in Aaron Gold 2.0.
Got that glow up,
Yeah, I like how it's like more like abandoned looking compared to the original Erangel.
I mean, it's not like there's housekeepers in the apocalypse, right?
I mean, there should be though.
Groundskeepers and everything like that. I don't know. I don't know.
Look at this. This is blown right there. Is this even safe to be out there on the second story? I mean, a shell went right into that bad boy.
Oh man. Well, yeah, certainly that could be the case. Razak is going to be an area that saw at least a few different teams drop near it. Radiant's already starting to rotate through those fields of death, trying to find a centralized position to call home. Around that area, though, as well, Metagaming has been able to pop off one of their scouts to push off in the distance, close to Aguila's current position. Could see some shots start to come out here in a bit of defense to keep this compound free and clear, but no, Metagaming's Christim was not able to find the connections or at least the lines of sight to be able to effectively defend what was once solely his. And Dave, this could at least prove to be difficult now for Metagaming, as Radiance has some members bombing into this compound from the west.
I mean, Radiance, they're what? They're dead last on leaderboard. Like, they need to get some early game kills, in my opinion, if they are free, just so that they can at least boost them up on the leaderboard. Every single kill matters here, and here we go. Looks like they're gonna be pulling up over here, taking some initial shots over here. Nerf still all the way back there in Quarry, just boosting their way over here to hopefully get here in time before any of the action pops off. Looks like they're going to be at a little bit of a standstill right now. Got it all getting a little closer here.
Radiance did have the numbers to work with at first. They were one man up, but then the two other members of Metagaming were able to hold down the Overwatch position on the hill. They've got wide open shots right now onto the members of Radiance, but didn't take it. Batty Lol could be pushing up the stairwell. There it is. Sparking's able to find McCoy outside the building, takes him down. Batty Lol, the rest of Radiance now in a bit of a scramble to stay alive because McCoy can be flushed out. Spotting through the window outside onto the balcony. He's going to be able to find the flush. His teammate right behind him comes in huge. Aguila able to save the day there, but it's not over just yet, Dave. It's still going to be at a bit of an even situation here between these two teams. Molotov going to be hitting the sill right above the window. big impact for them, but unfortunately misses the mark narrowly.
Aguila able to get the revive onto Battle Log. Going to be pumping out some defensive smokes over there on the stairs. They're finally able to group up with the squad. Was quickly cut off in the process. Now just 2 members of Radiance in the second quarter. Trying to defend it. Aguila going to be peeking on over the balcony. Will be connecting on to one of the enemies from Metagaming. And now it's just up to Battle Log.
Yeah, Batty is going to have to make some decisions here, right? He can certainly go for the res onto Aguila, but that will pretty much all but seal their fate, right? They have to commit to the fight at this stage in the game. Metagaming going to be doing the exact same thing, but they've got the numbers advantage this time around. They got the members of Radiance locked down. They know exactly what they're working against. It all comes down to what the duo of this Radiant squad, who, like you mentioned, Dave, desperately need points here, especially in week 2, the second to last week before we go into the grand finals. After week number 3.
Metagaming are just bombarding that second story with grenades, just inflicting as much damage as possible. Looks like Battle Law was able to get that revive, as you mentioned. Radiance just trying to lick their wounds right now, trying to heal on up, as Metagaming are looking to get the confirms over here and get those much needed points here. And it looks like they're going to be at somewhat of a standstill. Not sure if they want to push this quite yet. They're going to be right smack in the middle of the circle, so they theoretically could both share this. But the thing is, does Metagaming, do they want to, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the questions that both of these teams really have to start asking themselves at this stage in the game. With the blue zone pushing in now, about halfway through that progression, other teams have begun to at least approach the surrounding areas. You've got the Sonics and 303 starting to throw some pot shots at each other a little bit to the north of this. Red Knid's going to be actually sending at least a scout down this direction, possibly going to be crossing the path of the Sonics right now as well. Feiska getting dangerously close to at least Profi, going to be calling in Shrimsy as well. Shots now start to come out, and that's going to definitely pull out the Sonics on the South Pachinki Hill, at least for the meantime. But the battle's still going to be going in between these 2 teams, or at least what remains of Metagaming and Radiance. Still going to be favoring Meta as far as this is concerned, with 2 inside of the building on the first floor versus the 2 members of Radiance left alive up top.
Just a confirmation, Houston Hardships will be in game number 2. They were given very short notice, so had to sit out game number 1. All their players are sitting on the bench ready to participate. So if you are a Houston Hardship fan, don't go nowhere. And thanks everybody for staying up. I see a couple SNG fans in the chat saying how they stood up late, and they are excited to get into the action here tonight for them. Looking forward to it, as we are going to be checking out some other squads here on the outskirts, taking some pot shots.
Yeah, action's exactly what you're starting to get, at least at the 8.5-minute mark of game number 1. Shots going to be landing onto one of the members of the Red Knids. It's Feiska, that early scout that pushed up near the Sonics, ends up going down and out, leaving the Knids now with 3 to work with. But phase number 1 is about 10 seconds off from closing and giving us a little bit better of an indication as to where game number 1 is going to be taking us. Will we still have the channel in play? Will we still have some of Siznoka in play? Or will it be committing up towards the north? Up towards the north it does go. It is going to be shifting entirely all of Siznoka out of the play. The channel's not really going to be too impactful as far as water is concerned, but rotations will have to come out from all 2 teams. And that's going to be unfortunate, which means a very crowded phase number 2. A lot of teams already going to be in there trying to fight for the Pachinki and surrounding areas, but also desperately trying to avoid those wide open fields that surround the city.
Yeah, as we're going to be checking in with Wallet Car right now. Sharp Shot, within all in their dossiers, just trying to send it a little bit closer. Looks like they're trying to center up right now on Pachinki. Surprisingly enough, no one currently occupying Pachinki, so this could be a very good push for them. Looks like they're going to be a little split up for the time being, maintaining their own individual compounds, and they're going to do everything in their power to make sure that these other squads don't get a foothold within the town, right smack in the middle of circle number 2.
Yeah, and those 3 teams, Dual, Singularity, and Sonics, have been pretty effective at achieving that. Wildcard, the only team, as you mentioned, to actually infiltrate that unintentional defense they've got going on and lock down the city compound of Pachinki itself. Other teams, though, rotating on the outskirts, the teams that can't make it in, well, it's going to be STK rotating right into the Red Knids. And remember, already going to be at a 1-man disadvantage as they start to fight against one of North America's best teams coming into this tournament. Shots already going to be coming out. Poke shots applied onto Purdy. Curdy hops out of his vehicle immediately. Let's pop in with the members of STK and see how they're going to be handling this engagement.
They one in the yellow.
Yeah.
One just jumped out the right double.
Yeah, they're playing to leave. They're playing to leave.
Flag to White Darcy.
Knocked him.
Nice.
I need somebody to push with me. Civ.
Yep, I'm coming.
Where's
The
the
White
other
Darcy
one?
stop?
Unknown.
He left.
Did he
To the
leave?
res.
I need that guy.
Yep, he just pulled in now.
I could get knocked.
Secure vehicles if we can.
I'm good.
So it's just
Red Canids lose another in the process. Down to STK they go, and now pinched in between multiple different squads in a kind of vulnerable position. Their hope now at this stage of the game, Dave, is that they don't have to make too many transitions.
Yeah, I mean, they've just been having the roughest of games here. Thankfully for them, they do have a little tiny building right smack in the middle of this circle. Now, I continue to see them, you know, peek their heads, take some shots. And honestly, if I'm down to only 2 members here with still all teams alive, I'm just going to turtle up. I know, you know, you like to get those shots, you like to get those knocks, but let's be real. If you get a knock here, you're not going to get the confirm. So you're kind of just risking it for not a lot of reward, in my opinion, if you are on the nids. But we're going to see what's happening right here. It looks like Soup HD, the last remaining member right now, trying to stand their ground, defend this compound right now. Microfry bleeding on out. Kaden and Honey Badger both taken down in the process while they were trying to rotate here.
This is really us just kind of catching up on the story that was beginning to play out at the beginning of the game. How are these Eastern teams going to make that rotation from phase 1 all the way over to the West and settle up and find a place that's comfortable at least throughout the early game? Well, it didn't work out too well for Livid, one of our squads that landed in Milta to kick off the game. Livid, previously of the Noble organization, at least most of that roster at this stage, I believe. Phase number 3 is going to be out, and with it, Livid gets wiped off of the map as our first team to exit out here in game number 1. Phase number 3 is going to be a hard shift down to the southeast of where phase number 2 was positioned. Pachinki, which once lied in the center of the circle, is now going to be lying on the northwestern edge. A lot of teams going to at least quickly start to make some rotations to what was a pretty unexpected shift here in this phase.
Yep, I mean, shifting all the way out there to the east. We were just talking about the Red Canids. Their compound no longer in play, but they should be able to easily make their way on into this new circle. They just want to lay low and make sure not to be spotted in the process, as we do have 14 other spots still alive. Checking back in with Meta Gaming. They got their 2 kills. Was Radiance able to get one out of this? When I look down, I don't see Radiance. Okay, Radiance still have 2 members alive as well, but they were able to survive just a little longer. But just like Metagaming, they're going to be losing one. They were trying to scout that compound, but unfortunately for them, they scouted the compound with all their members here. Not what you want to do here. You want to send one just in case it is going to be occupied, and they quickly made that U-turn. And now Metagaming, they're just kind of driving in the wind, baby.
Well, here's the other story of that compound. Radiance is going to be facing off against some difficulty in their disengage from what was previously inside of phase number 2. Already feeling the pressure, feeling it from, well, 2 locations to the northwest. It's going to be the Sonics and Wildcard, both pounding shots in the direction of Badilol and Aguila. Again, a duo left here for this squad, Dave. You talked about it. They desperately need points. And with now Badilol going down, Aguila, who's already been knocked once this game, has a flaming dossier to worry about, also is going to be in a very tough position to try to recover off of this. To try to even play for placement at this stage of the game is going to be a very, very tall task, as members of Metagaming would be plowing into his direction also. It's hey, you know, these guys just can't avoid each other. They got magnets in their pockets, Dave. It's natural attraction, and well, like, it's probably going to end.
Getting one.
Almost.
Tap.
That would have been a hell of a 1v2. A great end to the story either way, as Metagaming going to be knocking out one more team. Our second team to go here in game number 1 is going to be Radiance.
But I definitely love the map awareness from both of our squads, Meta and Radiance. I mean, they sent it right into these new trenches and kind of bombed defilades here on the maps that are currently occupying what was once just a flat open field. So that map awareness was great. We saw Aguila pull up in their dossier right into that dip you know, hoping to survive right there. And if they were to survive, next circle does prove that that is going to be on in it. So if you are metagaming, you do not have to move a muscle. But this is just one of the reasons why I love Aaron Gold 2.0, because it just provides more cover from what was once just a barren field, which was a death trap. But now players can actually use it and play it. So it's good to see. It's good to see.
Another wide shift going to be coming in phase number 4. A lot of teams might have been thinking Pachinki is where we're going to be going for the mid to late game, but no, PUBG had other plans. Over to the east, we are going to be sent, as well as some of our teams holding on to those western positions. A lot of shots going to be popping off, regardless of those new bits of cover inside of those fields, Dave. They don't play dividends, really, for Singularity at all. Half their team gets obliterated, leaving one player left outside of the circle, and Kodak praying for his life now inside of the fields itself. The western side of this circle is going to get incredibly crowded. 3 teams have yet to even make that rotation in. 1 for Pachinki, Duel, and then 2 down to the south. The Sonics and the Red Canids going to be starting to engage in a bit of a fight here. Team Bliss finds the first knock. Down goes Shrimsy with a headshot from the Car 98 onto the Sonics.
Yeah, Kodak definitely a fan favorite. I've seen their name spammed multiple times in the chat here tonight, so make sure you spam us some more. Give Kodak that energy. We're going to be checking out 303, though. They do still have all 4 members alive, and they're going to be around the edge. But for how long? They're kind of spread for the time being. They got their UAS. They got D-Rich using the UAS and the tree for cover, but Onyx right above their head. The smoke pretty much an indicator that somebody's going to be here. You see some mollies getting tossed out. Quinn going to be making that wraparound, trying to get the surprise backstab on the 303. Will be opening up with that AKM, but quickly flicked on. But D-Rich is going to be bleeding on out.
Good spray on to D-Rich. Tried to get the transfer onto Penta, but was not able to find it. The third party comes in, and the Red Canids are going to be spelling disaster now for the Sonics, who also lose Profi in the process. 303 Esports going to be picking up one of those, but still trying to recover off of the knock on to one of their members, D-Rich. A triangular fight here on the western side of the circle, where these teams have not been able to even solidify a position yet. On the western side of phase number 4, and the blue zone waits for no one, as the Sonics will find themselves the 3rd team eliminated here in game number 1 in 13th place position.
Calmest columns ever, as we are going to be checking out Duel, making that breach onto B, the last remaining member of that team was spotted. Quick ENP will be doing their best to defend that room, not before at least taking down one member from Duel, but not able to get the thirst. Unfortunate for them. But don't worry, we got plenty more games to go. One team that I'm looking at, though, Esquire, Wildcard. I mean, we didn't get a chance to see them last week, but we finally got Kickstart and Sharp Shot back together. The OG crew from Wildcard back in the day. So I'm looking to see how this synergy works. They got 4 alive. They got Tiggleton on their squad as well. I mean, they are just stacked with some fraggers.
You know who else they got, Dave?
Who else?
Big Boomer.
I don't know who Big Boomer is.
It's Keenan. It's Keenan. That's the update we have, at least. Big Boomer going to be dropped down to 8% HP, able to drop down right behind that smoke concealment, get the meds off, and prepare for another bit of engagement, which is certainly imminent at this stage in the game. 303 Esports. Sophia going to be pushing up on the opposite side of the road here, the eastern side of this Pachinki road that leads down to the south, starting to at least look over to see what the engagement would possibly look like for them, as they are now going to be faced with this rotation as well. Next zone going to be popping a slight nudge up towards the north, going to be one of the tamest rotations here, or rather circle shifts of game number 1, which keeps things kind of the way they are, which is dangerous, Dave. A smaller circle with the positions already currently held by these squads are going to prove disastrous, for especially these squads outside of the circle down to the southwest.
It's going to be disastrous. I mean, couldn't have said any better, especially for Wildcard. They're going to be right on the edge of this new circle, but they're not going to be safe. I believe we're going to go and check in with Wildcard and see what they're going to do, how they're going to react, as they are pinned down right now.
That's what I'm going to do.
Where's this kid on orange? I'm flashing south.
It's not amazing smokes yet. I have more.
Yeah,
I'm
Woolly's
going
angle.
to
That's
get
coming
off
from bottom
south.
northeast.
You just insta headshot me.
Bro, dude.
D-Rich is dead.
Alex knocked me. I'm in smoke. I'm coming back.
D-Rich is fighting. D-Rich is
D-Rich
fighting.
is far. D-Rich is far. Can I get a res quick?
Yeah, I'm sticking it.
About to get on board.
Knock up. Oh. I'm just taking it.
Re-smoke us, and then smoke towards him. We just need to fucking try to nade this guy on orange, or we're
This
gonna
is
die.
bad. This
This team's gonna help from up top. I threw another one. This team's helping from up top now.
Re-knocks. Oh, that's up kick. Solars is knocked! Solars is knocked!
One's edge circle. Watch it right now. He has to move to
Sophia's
blue.
still alive
He has
on
to move to blue.
orange.
I'm
He's
out
on the
of
tree.
smokes, by the way.
I have
We
someone
just
from my
need to
body.
run east as soon as I heal
He's
him.
running right now. One of them's running right now. Who on the second closest tree?
Peek kick, peek kick.
I got more smokes.
Kick Molly orange. Molly orange, please.
Edge of smoke, kick. South, south. Nice, that guy's not close. Just the guy south. Two of them, edge of smoke. Take your time. You have more smokes?
You don't need to tell that guy.
They're all dying right now.
You have more smokes.
I pushed one, right?
I mean, yeah, one's knocked in the smoke on orange.
You can kind of just play for picks here, I think.
I think you just shit on him, bro.
Oh, smokes are really bad.
They're flashing you. They're close.
Nah,
They're
I
in the
think
dip
it's
now. I
rest
think you
now.
lose if you fight them.
Wow. I mean, I was looking forward to seeing Kickstart shit on them, that's for sure. But it looks like 303 were able to get those revived. So now it's changed into a 1v3 Kickstart on the opposite end of this little hill. Both these squads will be getting third-partied by Metagaming, still favored within this circle, Esquire.
You know, Dave, I love Keenan's comms. Big Thumer has the best comms, I think, in North American PUBG. He screams, but it's not annoying screaming. It's like motivational screaming that gets you pumped up. Like, I could tell, like, it was supporting his team right there. But no, Kickstart definitely trying to survive as a solo player is a tall task against three of the members of 303 Esports. But as you also saw, he's not going to be giving up just yet. It's a slow rotation he's going to have to make. We'll see if he gets there. Meanwhile, things picking up. Oh, he's not going to get there. 303 spots him out in the kill feed. Silers is able to drop him down with the beautiful spray down. Headshot connection. Back over to the east, the northeast to be exact. Oath is able to find some nice connections. Wolf is able to drop down one of the members of Athletico in this engagement that continues on. Huge nade going to be coming in, and in doing so, significant damage onto Wolf as he gets dropped down from the backside. The third party pressure coming in hot.
Yeah, I mean, Athletico, they are just getting torn apart right over here. Down to only one member. Oath, our first place team within the lobby here. They got Wolf bleeding on out, but they are not done yet. They are going to be pinned down for the time being, but trying to make sure that everything is clear on the edge of this blue zone. Relo going to be taking some shots out there with the SLR. Checking out the map one more time. Metagaming going to be holding out 303, but the majority of our squads still alive. Going to be on in the east, right on top of one another. Shoot the kill, and down there in the south, 4 members alive. They could be a key player in the final zones here moving forward.
Oath coming into week number 2 as first place on the leaderboards. We're able to get the res onto Wolf, the glue that holds that team together. The other 3 definite fraggers for this squad, but all 4 now going to be remaining to try to continue to chase that number 1 lead and at least establish it even more throughout week number 2. Athletico not going to be able to make that stand here in game number 1. Will be dropped out in 7th place position to the beautiful shots coming in from Alo with the SLR for shoot to kill. Meanwhile, back over here to the west, it's going to be the remaining members facing off against the solo from 303. Pentalol trying to make his last stand. And well, Dave, this is something that we could certainly see within the realm of possibilities here for Pentalol. With 9 kills so far for 303, they're going to try to make this 11 and continue on, but unfortunately is going to be spotted first and get sprayed out of the game. 303 Esports out in 6th place.
Imagine if you're Radiance and you're watching this fight, you're just thinking, oh my goodness, if I was just able to survive. I mean, this is the 3rd or 4th circle that these trenches are going to be in play. And if you are a metagaming fan, even though you're down to only a solo, you are just so happy right now because they're going to be able to get mighty fine placement points. It doesn't even matter that we got 3 other squads, full squads alive, because they're going to be out there. They're going to be on the east. They're going to be fighting it out right now. Shoot the kill is going to be taking their time in the south. Halo will be spotted. Let's go check in Duel though and see how they wrap this one up.
Guys, keep focusing east here.
Alright, flush
Nice.
him.
They're pushing up. They're pushing up. I knocked one. One
On
on
the
me.
tree. Hit tree. I'm an in
I'm
tree.
double
Hold it.
knock. I'm double knock.
I'm holding.
We're getting shot in the back.
Mike, you can res.
Yeah, I'm resin. Resin. Watch your push on edge of blue. Fully crawl around me if you need extra time. You just need a run. You flushed? Is that an insta?
I flushed
Snake.
one. I flushed one.
Fuck, just run in
Come
slowly.
back, come down.
Keep crawling. Wally's probably dead.
Wooly's dead as fuck. He can't get res.
Doesn't need to move.
We're gonna need smokes. Can you get smokes?
We have no smokes. We have
I
no
have
smokes.
6 smokes. I have 5 smokes. I have 5
Drop me.
smokes.
Drop me.
Do this
I'll
shot.
get them all. I'll get them all. Got them.
This dude is
You need to
fucking
throw a
just...
smoke in front of me.
Yeah.
I didn't. Okay, I got my
Straight
kill on
south, I'm
sneakers. I
throwing-
got it.
Straight south. Yep.
I'm running down the hill.
Yeah, do it. I don't think it's a full
These
team
guys-
south.
these
You're gonna be
Southwest,
close on the field. Don't let them get angles on you from these trenches.
Yeah.
I'm
It's gonna
not.
be
I'm
in
running
these
down the hill.
I'm coming in, drop me half my smokes.
Thank you. And there's gonna be guys coming out of orange right now. We have to watch
Yeah.
for this.
Yeah, I'm holding edge. I don't think it's a full team southwest, by the way. They're really not showing much pressure.
Okay, well, I'm watching southwest south. There's a guy with the 3 helmet inside these dips on green. That's
Yeah,
probably
so
where the
I
arm shot
think-
came
I
from.
think it's meta game, and I saw Sparkin get knocked there.
I think he's a solo. He's on green Dossie. No, I knocked him. He's dead. There should be
Okay,
one in the
yeah.
bowl though. He's like playing the ridge side.
Smokes on south side of blue. Maybe we can
You
get free
can't
call
stay
on that.
still. You can't stay still for long.
STK
You're
is
just gonna
at
get shot.
STK is at least one down. You see
zone
one in the
south?
open south, 175.
Nice.
On yellow marker.
Is he near the smoke? What is he? Right side smoke?
Is it
In the
right
smoke.
side?
In the left smoke. The
He's
new
level
smoke.
1 helmet. Level 1 helmet.
One guy in the new smoke.
That's not the same one.
Okay, one guy southeast, yellow waypoint. Also,
That's not the same one I saw though.
if you
There's
guys
still a
wait,
guy.
For the solo.
they have to come in on the east. If you wait.
Listen. Blue mark on the trench. 3 helmets. White clothing.
Yes, that's the one I
Can
saw.
I get down? Can I get down? Have
He's
one
peeking
guy
Yes,
right
you
now.
can play low. You can play low.
I'm gonna play really low.
He's trying.
Watch your back, Michael. Every now and
Yeah.
then. Unless did we wipe fucking Oath?
We kill Snake as Wolf's dead. I don't know about anyone else.
I don't think
Who
we
smoked?
can play down. They have the ridge on us down.
I'm gonna see what
Listen,
we can do
can I-
about above
You're
us.
not getting pressure from west. You can pressure east until they.
Orange zone. One just got knocked.
We're gonna have to
Civ
push it.
got knocked on a
We're
tree.
We're playing to kill east. We're playing to kill east. West
Civ's
is not
knocked on a
playable.
tree.
See that arm? Edge of blue, my mark.
I think it's 3-2-3 right now. Or no, 3-2-2-1. A solo on your west.
One's getting pushed out, my mark, blue mark, edge of blue, on the tree.
That's
Okay, give me a
STK.
second. I'm gonna boost.
He's getting denied blue, I think. He's out of blue.
Yeah,
Die,
yeah.
die, die.
Okay, it's 2 Oath on your
Shin-
east, and then a solo in the field.
Yeah, we have to play to kill east. Or yeah,
Yeah.
How many smokes do you have?
I'm throwing.
Watch out, because this west guy has full vision on
Sure,
us.
you're lamp your head right now. You're ahead.
I know.
You're
I need-
alone?
I need-
One could be snake and lying down edge
There's
of blue.
probably
he's in
one.
he's in this like dip southeast. You see this dip?
Yes.
Yeah, he's gonna have like tree cover. You see him in front of you.
I'm not going at the
Nice.
base.
It's just Shimboy now on that team.
Should be one of them, one more, and then one last guy
Yeah,
west.
one in the field.
Mid. I'm re-smoking.
We have to clear
Listen,
him.
should we 3-man push this east?
I think we
Oh,
should.
Just clear
Are
him.
we,
Just
are we
clear him.
good? Like, heal up first, heal. And then something, west.
Jerry's challenging.
I
He's
crashed.
lit. He's headshot.
He crashed.
No, I
No, he's
almost did.
headshot. He's
below.
headshot.
Can we
Right in
peek?
front of Cherry on edge of zone.
He's on the
Yellow
ridge.
waypoint.
150. Push it. I'm pushing.
Yeah.
He's right
Bro.
past the tree.
Flush.
He's in front of me, bro.
Nice, last one west,
Solo in
last
the
one
field,
west.
on the west.
He's probably getting ground. Someone go all the way.
I'm first aiding.
Okay, someone needs to run blue mark all the way south. Lamp, go all the way south.
I am.
He's already close. He's close. Dead.
Nice.
Let's go. Good job, guys.
A massive
Hold on,
chicken
hold on.
dinner coming in for game number 1 for the members of Duel. Dave, 18 points, 10 points from the chicken dinner, 8 points from kills is what they're going to be taking down. I mean, that's a hell of a way to start week number 2.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I was getting nervous for Duel at the end there. I thought it might have fell apart after our boy Wooly was thirsted, taken down and out, but they were so good at being able to recognize where these players were, these last remaining enemies. They even had it down to, we got 2 over here, we got a solo over here, we got 3 down there. I mean, it was just remarkable. So they knew exactly where everybody was, and they just cleaned it up. I was watching Purdy Curdy though with that I was watching.
Oh,
Purdy
me too.
Curdy.
Me too.
I'm like Purdy Curdy just waiting to just get a 1 tap over here, but the
Well, you
Blues
kept hearing about the members of Duel talking about that one member. They didn't know who it was at that point in the game. They didn't know that it was STK. Just some OM player down to the south that was just disastrous for that squad, or at least throwing a wrench in their plans. And yeah, I had my screen on Purdy Curdy, just waiting for him to line up the shots. He was looking at Oath, though. It wasn't necessarily Duel that he had in his sights. Regardless, a beautiful game, beautiful comms, and that's really what sealed it in for Duel in game number 1. To double back on what you were talking about real quick before I believe we go into an interview, Dave. I mean, Metagaming, second place off of that. Hell of a push right there, even just for placements coming out from that solo player.
Yeah, I mean, they were, I want to say, in like our second engagement in game number 1, where they were pushing onto Radiance, and Radiance getting the short end of the stick, I guess, on that one. But it was funny, like you mentioned, they were magnets for each other, both of them kind of rotating on into that new trench down there on Angle 2.0. But Meta Gaming, they needed that so badly because they were in 11th place coming on into this game number 1 of this day. So, wow, great game for them. We saw some action, wild card. Hopefully, they were able to get a couple kills and some points as well. They got pinned down in such a challenging location. But congrats to Duel, who were currently in 4th place coming into this game. So they might be able to secure themselves a 3rd place. But we got Wooly here for the post game interview. Wooly from Duel, how's it going?
What's up, man? It's good. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I mean, I'm just getting warmed up. We got 5 more games to go. So, Wooly, we were able to we were listening to team comms at the end. And we were able to listen to you pretty much help with the calls, the IGL. And is there anything you want to kind of break down about how that whole process works for maybe some viewers out there that are just trying to get better at the game?
Well, we had a good rotation into the barn that was it was pretty much like Lamp's idea. Actually, Lamp like had a super good idea to crash the north end of the barn. We were stuck in Poach when it shifted east, so we did that, and that worked out pretty well. And then we needed to get up the hill a little bit earlier, right? Like if we stayed in the barn, it was possible that we could get pressured off. And then at the end of the game, I guess like once there's a certain amount of people alive, right? You kind of know how many players are there based on, the total number of players minus the number of players alive on your team. And if you've seen people die in the kill feed and stuff, you kind of know like where everyone is. If you can figure it out based on the kill feed. So I would say like they helped us a lot during that game. And playing a lot of Valorant this week helped us too. So,
Nice. Hey, well, I mean, y'all definitely put together a great first game, and like Dave said, coming from 4th place and then putting up that performance should certainly set you guys up for a good rest of the day. But talking about that rest of the day, you guys have the Houston hardships coming in here now. And I wanted to ask you, with first place on your minds, are you guys going to be preparing any differently with that team now inserting themselves into the lobby?
I mean, they're obviously like a different team, like than the team they were playing that was playing instead of them. So they, they were looting different spots and different things like that. So I think that's the only thing they'll really change. Like Houston Hardships is a pretty good team, but so is like all the other teams in the lobby. So I don't really think it really changes like the level of competition. I think it's just a matter of like where they are and stuff like that.
All right. Well, anything else you want to add, I guess, before we let you get back to your squad?
Just thanks to you guys for doing the event and stuff. Yeah, I know you guys have been around a long time, Mustache Dave and Esquire. So you guys are the bomb. Thanks to you guys for doing this. Hey. And yeah, glad to play some competitive PUBG. Real games are definitely a very unique experience, and it's really cool when you get to play actual tournament PUBG, regardless of any kind of level, or even with like the online teams and stuff being far away or anything like that. It's still really cool to play in. So thanks to you guys, and to 303 as well for hosting the tournament.
Hell yeah, man.
All right. Well, on that note, good luck, Wooly, moving forward. Hopefully we will hear from you or one of your squad mates moving forward, as we got 5 more games to go. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go nowhere. We will be right back after we get this lobby set up.
Back, everyone. Game number 2 is about to be underway. Game number 1 is in the books after a pretty dominant finish coming in for the team of Duel. Great insight from both their team comms as well as their IGL Wooly in the post-game interview. Dave, what are you looking forward to here in game number 2?
Hopefully, some more team comms. I honestly, the wild card in the Duel team comms that last game were just magnificent. I enjoy them so much. I mean, it gives you like a better sense of the chemistry with all these squads and how the pros, how their minds kind of act in these situations when they're put under pressure. And like you mentioned, I forget what player it was on wild card. Who was it? One of them you said you liked their motivation when they were knocked down.
It was Big Thumer, Dave.
Big Thumer. I mean,
Big
who
Thumer,
else?
aka Keen Dog.
The motivational speaker 2020. You love to see it.
You love to see it. Scores coming out of game number 1 of the day. Dave, let's run through them quickly before we pop into game number 2.
Yeah, real quick here. Oath, first place, shoot to kill. Second place, Duel, able to confirm themselves a third place after game number 1. Sonics Metagaming, though, the biggest of big movers on this leaderboard. They came into game number 1, 11th place. After that game, 5th place. I mean, that just goes to show you how close the point gap is.
That it is, Dave, and it's going to kind of set itself up for an exciting rest of the tournament as we approach really that halfway point of the regular season here for season number 2. Let's pop in to game number 2 right away, though, and get the plane path underway as all of our teams have been loaded up into the cargo hold and will be trying to get boots on the ground as quick as possible. Plane path going to be a little bit different than what we've seen over the last week and a half or so, Dave. Now going to be centered up north-south, but pretty fair as far as it splits the map in half.
Yeah, it's not going to be too harsh. And finally, we get to see a squad dropping down there in military base. I don't know if circle number 1 will favor it as they did last game. This one's kind of a toss-up in my opinion where this circle number 1 will go. But we're going to have this angle match and then another one. But like you mentioned, you asked Wooly on the interview, how will Houston Hardships join this lobby kind of affect their gameplay? And Wooly's like, listen, all these teams are good. Doesn't matter who you are. We're going to have our eye on you. And when we get into that engagement, we're going to make sure to clean the floor with you. Doesn't matter who you are. But Houston Hardships, best of luck. Let's see how they can perform here in this lobby.
Yeah, let us see. I'm trying to figure out where exactly they are. Oh, they're in Gatka. Okay, so on my my client, I didn't replace that, so they still got the old logos. But yeah, so they're not going to be throwing that wrench into the plans of teams that we were kind of expecting. They're going to be playing their own game, much like you mentioned, Dave, and much like Wooly mentioned. Duel is going to be playing their own game as well. Play your own game and play the best of your abilities, and really don't worry about anyone else. Treat them all as equals, and come up with the victories if you can repeat what you did in game number 1. Red Canids, though,
what they need to worry about is the circle number 1.
Yeah,
all the way up there in the north.
Yeah, it's definitely a different circle than what we were looking at in game number 1. And with the plane path, teams kind of felt the opportunity to be able to take advantage of the entirety of Erangel and really spread out to their heart's content. We saw that with 2 teams, like you mentioned, Dave, at the onset of the match, already dropping out within the first few seconds of the plane path, getting boots over on Sosnovka.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to have the most challenging time, and that's going to be Oath currently in first place on the overall leaderboard. So will they be able to survive? Shoot to kill at a pretty good game number 1. We saw them, I think they got like 3rd or 4th place there at the end. They're going to be up in Severny. Nobody around them. They're going to have some easy pickings when it comes to looting the shooting range and Severny. It looks like Halo has Severny all to themselves, so they should be decked out moving into this game. Stauber free and clear. Maybe a squad will, opt to have a ultra wide rotate up there, and they have to guess it is going to be clear. It's going to be safe, at least when it comes to not getting taken down on your rotates. Looking around though, SNG last game, 2 of the members they got taken out pretty early on, leaving Kodak and ENP to kind of try to survive, but they were easily hunted down. So hopefully SNG coming into game number 1, they could recuperate. They're in 12th place on the overall leaderboard, so they did get bumped down a notch on the overall. They're currently going to be sitting on 20 kills with 30 points. Let's see. Spam it in the chat. Looks like SMG will be one of the first teams to contest shoot to kill over here, actually, in Severny. So it's going to be interesting.
And this is the big thing that Shoot to Kill has to look out for at this stage of the game. They had the benefit of being one of the last teams out of the plane. They were able to see exactly who was going to be dropping around them, and they probably didn't see too much of anything. So the big worry for them is going to be teams rotating in. The first of which, like you mentioned, Dave, is going to be Singularity down from the south. They've been able to at least maybe slightly shore up that crossroads position. They don't really have it too secure, though, as far as fighting or contesting STK is concerned. STK, though, is also going to be very spread out. They're starting to at least shore up their own position, pull out the very spread Purdy Curdy as well, who was trying to take advantage of that very open area that Shoot to Kill had the advantage to take throughout the first maybe 3 minutes or so of the game, but now pull close together, try to find a position to defend as phase number 1 continues on. It's going to be very centralized, so it favors them as we continue on. Red Canid's going to be the team to pull off of North Georgia Bowl, where they shared it with Zenith Esports, as they start to at least congregate towards the center of the circle as well. It's starting to set itself up, Dave, for a very chaotic early game.
Yeah, this is interesting. I mean, looking around at the map, it looks like Shoot to Kill, they were trying to get a 2-2 split, kind of wrapping around SNG on their Crossroads compound. But then, like you mentioned, Red Canids, they're also pulling into the area as well. So that 2-2 strategy when it comes to Shoot to Kill, they're going to need to be extremely cautious because they can easily get third-partied. We got Purdy Curdy down there still looting in shooting range. Uncivil currently find themselves in an engagement. Uncivil, if they get knocked down here, I don't believe the revive will be able to come out on the end of Shoot to Kill. So all these team members need to be extremely cautious. They once had the zone free and clear, Severny ults themselves, but now it is time to regroup and just make sure to defend every single angle, as SNG are already going to be in their compounds, like you mentioned. They're going to be taking shots on these rotations from opponents out here.
Rusty, going to be our first blood here of the game, ended up falling off of the vehicle and somehow going down as he was taking heavy fire for the members of Shoot to Kill, and then ends up being claimed as the first point. Down goes 1, 63 going to be remaining, 16 teams alive here just at the 6-minute mark of the game, where most of our teams now on the map, all 16 to be exact, have at least started to try to figure out those rotations. Down to the south, while all of this has been happening up towards the north, though, the members of Oath have been slightly gate-kept from an easy rotation on that eastern bridge. It's the members of 303 who have been controlling that eastern choke point. I'm probably going to be sent an Oath on a farther rotation over to the western side of things, where they're already starting to trend now.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully on the side of Oath, I believe Radiance, they're already rotating with their vehicles, so they shouldn't run into them on that western bridge. Now, Radiance, they might opt to kind of just camp it out on the edge, and Oath still need to worry about that, but at least Oath have a fighting chance to get off the military island. Oath, they do look kind of conflicted, though. I see a couple members going to the east, a couple members going to the west. I believe they're just trying to scout out their best possible rotation plan here. It looks like now everybody is going to be moving on out, but hopping back on into the actual circle here, we got teams starting to just stack on top of one another.
We certainly do. 2 of our teams from the OCE region. It's going to be Atletico versus the members of Ferox. Ferox on the east, they were trying to come into the no-lean compound, the hillside off of Stalber, but we're going to be stopped dead in their tracks by Zoidmate and Flood, who were able to hold the front position. But now, Nico going to be trying to hold on to something with the Mini 14 4 times the top. Does spawn out the head of one member of Atletico, but it's just going to be information fed to his teammates for now, as these teams are still trying to line it up. Flood pulls off, going to be holding on to the lakeside, just to the north of Yasnaya for now. The members of Atletico don't want to push off of the compound. They don't want to push off of their current positions. They like where they are. It's really whether or not they're going to be able to spawn out the other team and try to get those shots and try to capitalize on their opponent.
I mean, you don't really need to. You don't really need to. Zoidmate over here going to be peeking their head. You're going to be getting shot in return, and they're looking around. They're like, okay, my squad, they're not with me. They're in the compounds. They're in safety. There's a UAS. I don't know if Zoidmate will be able to get on over there. Will be tossing some smoke. Needs to wait for it to fully bloom to give him a fighting chance to regroup with their squad mates. And there we go. Looks like Zoidmate, they don't want to regroup. They actually want to take the fight. They are going to be jumping down, being hunted down. 1 HP. Thirsted right there. And I don't know. You got to kind of guess, like your squad, 3 of them, they had hard cover. I mean, what are you doing up here in the foothills? There's still 16 teams alive. So you never know where these enemies might lurk here in this circle. So they're going to be learning the hard way. And I don't think the revive will be able to come out. So I'm going to be bleeding on out here.
Very aggressive stance going to be taken early on here, but the members of Atletico losing Zoidmate in the process for it is going to be a cost I don't think they would necessarily wanted to pay at the 9-minute marker things. But while that pops off, also things are going to be chaotic around the map. This next shift, phase number 2, is going to be sending it all the way up towards the northeast. It's not exactly a hard shift, but it's a dramatic enough shift to really cause some very quick repositions for teams even finding themselves inside of this phase 2 circle. Teams down to the south going to be sending it even quicker up towards the north this time around. Many rotations already going to be in play as Duel crosses the paths of our new entrants into the 303 Season 2 Americas Tournament. The Houston Hardshifts not going to be wasting any time to take some shots. They got to worry about their own rotation.
Yeah, I mean, a bunch of squads here. We see the kill feed is starting to light up. Stallberg going to be free and clear, but all these teams down here in the south are kind of just driving past each other. I mean, we got Radiance. They are just spreading. This is the great migration right now. Squad mates trying to survive here as far. I mean, it is just so challenging. If you're in a vehicle, you're going to be a moving target. If you're out there in these compounds, as we see shots just ringing out everywhere. Quick, going to be popping out into that passenger seat. We'll be going for that full-on spray right there.
It's the vehicle explosion.
Yeah.
Red Canid's going to be going down and out. 16th place position at the 10-minute mark of the game is where our first team will be falling. Possibly more to follow here, as the Sonics are going to be in a very dire position, caught and pretty much stuck now on a hillside. The members from Livid continue to pound shots from the north in that direction. STK, I mean, that was a gauntlet, Dave, that we just saw the Red Canids and the Sonics trying to go through. The Red Canids soaked up a majority of those bullets, and boy, did it show on the screen. Win with a beautiful hot swap car explosion. That's a highlight right there.
I mean, the hot swaps, that's what I was looking for, the hot swaps, and I'm glad that we got to see it. We got to see it firsthand, exactly how to successfully pull one off. Now, they weren't going for the actual driver. They were like, listen, I'm just going to spray this mag, land all these shots on the vehicle, just get the good old-fashioned vehicle explosion here. Both going to be out here still on their rotation in their cars as well. Radiance, Nerf with that M249. Ooh, trying to get some vehicle explosions of themselves. We'll be in the blue. It is only circle number 2, so they will not be taking too much damage, but they got to be aware of the possibility of giving away their location out here. They're not watching and McCoy. They're already in the circle. They're waiting for Nerf to regroup with them, but Nerf is trying to run and survive. Dialogue going to begin. Pulled up on, though. The surprise attack.
Surprise attack and more is going to be coming from the south. Duel starting to approach through the fields of Yasnaya. They're going to be the third-party presence amongst Radiance and Oath, who are really caught in the mix with each other, not necessarily prepared to take on a full 4-squad engagement added into the mix. But Duel is not going to be stopping. They're rolling through. They're going to be sending it fully through these squads, taking shots from multiple directions as nades are starting to be prepped as well. Duel will likely try to avoid this, get on the inside of it, and maybe then turn around and try to pick off some third-party kills, but they're under heavy fire. Snakers, one of the kill-happy members of this squad, is going to be trying to put up some numbers. Team List goes out in the kill feed on the other side of the map in the process, just as phase number 3 is going to be shifting up towards the north as well. Chaos all over the map, and Oath is not going to be immune to it at all. Snakers gets dropped down from the far side, just as expected. Duel was able to get to the western side of this engagement, look back, and then try to mop up whatever they're able to find, and Michael is able to find at least one.
Yeah, and if you are Nerf, hopefully you find a vehicle. Nerf's still going to be out there in the blue on the side of Radiance with that M249, that reinforcement, that backup, just waiting. But still going to have to continue to run on into the circle and not be detected. We got a couple squads already in the circle here. Coffee, Shrimsy, Lyman, Win right smack in the middle. Looks like Honey Badger and Soup all the way up there in the north are going to be going for some easy placements from their compound. But Atletico, surprisingly enough, they were able to get that revive onto Zoidmate. I didn't think it was possible, but it does look like they're going to be on the edge, gatekeeping, as now we see Wildcard making the pull up here. Wildcard down to only 3 members. That's all they need. They're going to be trying to breach these compounds, trying to take these enemies out and reclaim this compound as theirs.
Ooh, Oath. One of our leaders here in the lobby going to be going out early on in this match as well. They clashed with the members of 303 on the eastern side of the circle and found themselves a little bit outmatched. And down they go, back to the wild card engagement. And knowing, though, Atletico is going to be opting to try to disengage from this. It's worth noting, Dave, that in that phase 2 drastic hardship, they were able to get Zoid made back up. The members of the other OC squad so Atletico keeps 4 alive, but it's only for a little bit longer before the car explosion coming in from Singularity wipes out Nick from the map. Singularity trying to really hold on to this position, trying to prevent any teams from the south from making an easy entry up towards the north, are serving a pretty effective job at doing so.
Poem, ENP, the last remaining members. I'm having flashbacks from game number 1. SNG down to only 2 squad mates left. Still 12 other teams remaining. Counting them, they just want to survive at this point. They will have somewhat of a foothold in the zone. How long with these circles in this game has been shifting all over. Shoot to kill. Remember, they dropped Severny very early on. Pretty Curdy, we do see just knocked down right there. Luke 12 going to be probably trying to regroup with their squad mates here and maybe get Pretty Curdy up, as it looks like Allo going to be sending it. That vehicle used as cover right now. Ooh, but Purdy was thirsted. We didn't get a chance to have any smokes pop out on that side. So shoot to kill going to be down to only 3 members, but it's not over yet. As far we see him making that push, we see him tossing out these grenades. A phenomenal grenade right there. Uncivil, able to get 2 of them right there. The 2 for 1 special.
That's what they're known for. If you can get that 2 for, if you can throw nades, certainly it's going to be shoot to kill that are going to be picking up those massive highlight reels with them. It's been a while, but Uncivil coming back in dominant fashion, not able to save a majority of his teammates. Will be just 3 up here for the members of Shoot to Kill, but it's going to be enough for them to continue to hold on to the northwestern side of phase number 4, especially given the fact that now Livid, and they spent too long in the gas station outside of the zone. It's time to rotate themselves up here towards the north and then worry about the engagement. Fortunate for STK, though, for right now, they've got a member of Zenith that splits in between the 2 in that pinch position. The Houston hard shift's going to have to drop down very quickly to the south to get into this next hard shift, as well as Duel. And there's that buffer gone now between the members of STK and Livid. Honey Badger able to find the nice spray down, takes out Mystery, and out goes Zenith Esports in 13th place position.
Yeah, I mean, Livid, they're just trying to stay grouped up together. They have the numbers advantage. They have a nice little spot within this circle over here. They don't really need to push too far out, but Radiance, they have just been zigging and zagging all game number 2. They can't catch a break when it comes to these circles, as we see them running uphill right now with Duel, the victors of game number 1, right on their trail here. Michael looking to take some shots to at least get the information and relay that back to his squad mates. Wooly in the aggressive position up front, as always, ready to be that entry fragger. As Radiance, they're going to be pulling back into Stallber. Stallber not going to be in the circle, but 303 Esports in Stallber, running the edge, looking to get a couple kills themselves here. Let's see, will Radiance be able to survive? It kind of seems like Radiance is kind of baiting, in a way, Duel to follow them into this trap that 303 set here. Thing is, Radiance with 2 members alive, Battle and McCoy, they need to make sure to fly underneath the radar and not be spotted, and hope and pray that Duel spotted before them.
Dave, have you ever seen the movie The Perfect Storm?
Is that the one with the guy in the boat?
Yeah, pretty much. Basically, there are 3 hurricanes about to collide in Stallber, and it could be pretty epic as the shots already start to ring out right now. 303 Esports going to be spotting out the members of Radiance. This gives, at the very least, the audible cues over to the members of Duel, just on the opposite side of the hill to the north. Possibly the indication that they can push in and try to third party once again the third opportunity for this Duel squad here in this match alone. Duel is an interesting team in that they took a very wide rotation out into the blue zone along the far eastern side to get to the north, They overshot it a little bit, but now they start to creep their way in up onto the hillside. They're able to find line of sight, but not any of the members of the other two squads just yet. Batty Low gets dropped in the process. McCoy going to be the only member of this Radiant squad on his feet. Now going to be in the second story of the observatory, trying to stay alive, trying to at least get enough concealment out to at least play with this and try to avoid the members of 303 Esports now starting to swarm. But who's going to be that third party factor? Is it going to be Duel? Is it going to be the Houston Hardships, who now start to at least creep into the fight as well from the north? It's a 4-team engagement, Dave.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, if you're Radiance, you're down to only McCoy. You're trying to go for that bait and switch donkey punch over here, just tossing out some smoke, making sure to have that molly on the stairs to ensure that nobody is able to push on up there. McCoy definitely hearing all these grenades, all these gunshots ringing around him. Going to be opting to go into that bathroom. Tried and true play from the McCoy playbook from the past over here. And it looks like they're able to survive just a little longer, but the blue zone will be ticking away just a little bit. Needs to be so careful trying to survive. Can they get on out of here? 303 gonna be around the edge. Houston Hardships coming into their first game of the day, down to only one member alive as well. Lobes still gonna be in the blue. So can Lobes or can McCoy, which one will be able to outmed and survive to get that 11th place? Who's gonna be taken down in 10th? Looks like Lobes is gonna be opening up the shot over here onto 303, not opting to go out without a bang.
And I don't think he's going to be going out just yet, Dave. Dropped down to 23% HP, but able to avoid the blue zone for right now. Get the meds rolling, and for right now as well, remain undetected. I think 303 is going to be more concerned with the presence of McCoy. The other solo player is still going to be in the blue zone, in the observatory. 6 of that damage. Gets spotted out on the second story, trying to get to safety, and D-Rich says, no way. Knocks him out. M416 rings true, and another team goes out in 11th place position.
Yep. Send them back to the lobby here. You know what? Have them rethink their strategies. Now, shoot to kill. They're down a member, but it doesn't matter. Purdy Curdy, that sniper for the squad, is going to be on the bench right now, shoot to kill, trying to make their way on into the circle, but they're going to be getting third party. They're trying to sneak up behind this fight, that wild card just able to successfully overthrow that squad that was in that Wizzy T. And let's see if shoot to kill can successfully sneak up on them. But shoot to kill, they are being gate kept so hard right now. Esquire, I don't know if they'll be able to survive this one.
It's certainly not going to be easy. Another massive engagement down here to the southwest between 3 teams. Up to the northeast in the kill feed. Lobes for the Houston Hardships gets dropped out of the game, out in, I believe, 8th place position. They go. 7 teams now going to be remaining, but this epic clash over here to the southwest continues to rage on. Shots going to be connecting, and Civil going to be tagged down and dropped. He continues to bleed out. 2 down for STK as Alo and Luke will try to champion for this squad. They spot out Wildcard, at least able to get some pressure in that direction, get some information, Dave. But is that going to be enough now with these other teams, Wildcard as well as, I believe, Ferex, being dominant forces already secured inside of the circle?
Yeah, and on the opposite end of this, I mean, we got Kaden and Microfry from Livid fragging out as well. I mean, the kill feed is just popping off right now. Phase number 5 here. Sharp Shot will be spotting Luke out there. Luke 12 trying to survive, ducking down behind that rock. Kickstart is going to be bleeding on out. So there's so many squads on top of each other right here. Luke just trying to survive, but Luke's position is 100% compromised right now. Kickstart going to be bleeding on out to the zone, and Sharp Shot actually third party right there. Sharp Shot was the member with eyes on Luke 12 here, but you know, Luke 12 again taken down to the zone. Doesn't matter. Next zone is up. Zoidmate going to be laughing at that one.
This frees up a little bit of room for Wildcard to work with, but not much. Ferox is still going to be alive with 4 members off to the northwest of Wildcard's current position. Zoidmate, the other of Atletico, 2 alive, hold on to the southern position inside of this phase of the game, while 303 continues to push up north, trying to get a dominant hold on that side of the circle. It's going to be the Sonics that lie up there with 1 member of Livid while shots start to pop off. Atletico has continued to at least maintain a spot onto the squads down to the southwest while that engagement popped off, and now on to Big Thumer and Tiggleton. Zoidmate and his teammate FLUD will be looking to try to find at least some pressure and at best some kill points as well as we enter into the late game.
Let's get some Thumers in the chat right here. Let's see if we can get Thumer to get the 1v4 squad wipe. Meanwhile, 303 Esports down to 3 members alive. They're going to be dominating this new circle, trying to make sure all their angles are clear. Trying to get that dub here And as I said, let's get the Thumers in chat. Thumer taken down and out, bleeding on out, but I believe Tiggleton will be able to get that revive as they're 4 alive here. I mean, they have just been a thorn in all these squads over here in the West. And, you know, they only got 4 kills, but if I had to go back and look, their damage numbers, it has to be just off the charts because they have been taking shots on top of shots. It's like a Lil Jon music video.
5 teams now remain. 23.5 minutes into match number 2 of the afternoon. We've got one more round of Aaron Goal to follow this game, and then we transition into the second half of week number 2 of the tournament. Pushing on 303 Esports, going to be able to keep 3 of their members alive. 303's been putting out some pretty significant kills so far on the day, now with 9 kills, and still much more in the tank for Pentalol, D-Rich, and Sellers to push on. They're just going to be waiting for this next phase to pop and shift the game further and further towards its completion point. Atletico not going to be silent as this continues on here, maintaining their own presence on the southern side of this phase, keeping teams at bay from pushing around and sweeping and clearing through this sector.
Yeah, and I believe I saw on social media Sellers just recently hitting a 100K on YouTube. Big congrats out there. But I gotta say, 303, they got Pentalol and D-Rich there. That's the highest elevation here on this map currently. They got a couple trees to work with, but they got Mime and Shrimzy right behind them, and I don't think they're aware of their presence. And looks like Mime trying to wrap around, get a surprise backstab onto D-Rich. D-Rich not even looking in the direction out there, and we're gonna see, yep, just like that, caught off guard. Mime will be connecting onto one of them, giving away their location. But you know what? That's gonna hurt 303 so much here moving forward.
There it is, Pentalol able to find at least one tag onto Mime, with a few remaining members of the Sonics outside of the current circle. 24 seconds on the clock for Shrimzy to decide, is this going to be a res that I can pick up, or do I have to push on? But Flood and Atletico down here to the south are going to at least start to pop off against the members of Ferox. Down goes Flood, Zoidmate, the solo member left alive here for this team. Will have to pull off some epic plays to try to at least push past this 5th place position they are currently landing themselves to go up in. 303 Esports back up here to the north is trying to gatekeep as much as possible. The members of the Sonics. Shrimzy tried to get the res onto Maya, but is unable to find it. Down he goes, and now Shrimzy, the solo player, is going to have to make a great last stand. Not able to do so. Pentalol claims the 11th kill. Very well into double digits now for the members of 303, who are left with 2 alive.
Yeah, I mean, if they get taken down in 4th place, like, of course, it's going to be some good placement points, but the 11 kills by themselves is 1 point per kill. That's going to pretty much make sure that they finish at the top of the leaderboard when it comes to this game. But Ferox still with 4 alive down here in the south, currently sitting on 5 kills. Cozy with 3 to themselves out here. Things are looking good for that squad. There is kind of a care package right smack in the middle. I don't think anyone's going to be able to get that. But if they were able to manage to sneak their way over here, that's some level 3 gear. I don't know which weapon is in there, but that could play a big role in the chicken dinner for this game. Zoidmate, the solo mate. Oh, okay. So we
massive bait crate.
Massive. I mean, it's so big.
Massive bait crate. Oh god. Ferox still going to be spreading out along the southern side of the circle. They get closer and closer to at least spotting out the position and flushing out Zoidmate, that solo member for Atletico. Still able to at least stay alive, able to push into the top 4. 5th place said no way. We'll see if I can pick up a few kills here as well. Holding on to the rise and able to spot the head of the first member of Ferox to crest over the hillside, but it's not going to be enough. Grumps is able to spray him down. OCE on OCE. Ferox going to come up victorious this time around. 3 teams remain. The 4 stack down to the south versus 2 of 303 and a solo player of Livid off to the northwest. Soup is going to be trying to do as much as he can just to remain undetected and possibly go out the same way that Metagaming did in round number 1. But if Ferox can do anything, they're going to be trying to claim as many kill points here as possible. 6 to their name so far. Could be setting up for a pretty nice finish if they continue on that rampage.
Yeah, this is week number 2, game number 2. We're still going to have 4 more games to go after this. Erangel, Sandhawk, Miramar. Make sure not to go anywhere. See a couple of questions in the chat. Thanks for tuning on in, by the way. Thanks for tuning on in. Let us know in the chat who you think is going to win here. And as Esquire just mentioned, Soup just trying to remain undetected. For some reason, the whole team just seemed to focus on this rock. I guess they might have spotted out maybe the hand, maybe the helmet, or whatnot, but now it's down to a 4v2.
Who the members of 303 going to be trying to hold on to this eastern side of phase number 8 for the next 30 seconds at least, as they try to at least put together a plan to deal with this numbers disadvantage they are facing off against. 2v4 is not going to be easy, but we'll tune in right now with the members of 303 remaining, Pentalo and Sellers. Tylers, I don't even know, Dave. We'll figure that out over the break and see how they're going to try to take this one down.
I don't know. He's probably, yeah. Knocked him. I'm first hitting.
You know, there's an AUG down low. Low southwest.
Yellow might be pushing. Yellow might be pushing.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna check
Definitely
yellow.
peek west. You guys can see the entire zone from up here.
Yeah, he's still there. He's still there.
Still 290.
I feel like you guys push like to the west side.
I'm gonna throw a nade. Where I knocked the other guy. I'm gonna molly as well. Quickly. I'm smoking once. Smoking twice.
There's two guys at yellow. I see two guys yellow.
Okay, then this is one for the southwest.
I think it's, yeah. We still have two guys behind us.
below me, 255.
Yeah, that's the guy playing by himself.
Yeah.
He's in for a long time.
How many smokes do you have?
I have two left. We need a play to kill this guy on the west side.
Yeah. He's still solo. Like two guys on the east side, at north side. One guy on the west
I
side.
think we pick both sides. Both
Both on
left
the
now.
west. Okay, you ready?
Can you guys rep like?
How many smokes do you still have?
Nice. Two.
Healing, I got a
two
healing.
guys.
Heal.
Oh, fuck. I need to first hit.
More smoke.
You have any smokes? I'm out.
No. Okay, we
You gotta play
run
left. Gotta play left.
Run left. Go.
Left again.
He's low.
Knock.
One up. This guy on the right.
Take it slow.
Left of the tree.
Tree.
Headshot.
Push down low.
I'm
Wait,
taking
he's
down
out.
three.
Let's go.
Nice.
Oh, holy cow!
Oh, 4v2. What happened there? My bad, boys.
Holy cow! I mean, Dave, that was insane. Mistakes were made. We can say that at least by one team, but what an effort put together by Pentalo and Silers to duo that epic chicken dinner. I mean, they come out with how many kills is that, Dave? 15 kills?
16?
15 kills? 16?
16.
I don't know. I think it says 15. It says 15 plus the 10-point chicken dinner, right? That's 25 points, and they were looking like they were probably going to go out in second place with none of those kills to boot. The blue zone was on their back, but somehow through comms, as we heard it, and then epic kind of tactical plays, tactical shots, they were able to clear out those flanks that Farax was trying to send out. And holy cow, that was beautiful.
Like me.
Oh, not in seventh grade.
I think I saw,
not in that yearbook photo,
Penta
Dave.
with a level 3 vest, though. I think I saw Penta with a level 3 vest. I'm not exactly sure. I was too busy watching Grumps and Cozy try to frag
My
out.
God.
I just saw Penta like lean peeking in the open. I'm like, okay, this is an easy shot. But man, they were. Oh, we gotta ask them how they managed to pull that one off. I mean, 2v4. I mean, it's definitely been done in the past, but like you mentioned, and so did I. I wrote them off, Esquire. I was like, okay, this is a GG, but they flipped the script on that one.
Yeah, they certainly did. Coming in from 303, I believe we got D-Rich. D-Rich, congratulations
Hey,
on
thanks,
that
man.
on that victory. That was pretty crazy. I mean,
It was my teammates that clutched it, but
yeah. So I'm going to ask you from your perspective, right? So you and your, I believe it was Sophia, were already dead, and it was Pentalo and Silers remaining. What was going through your head, just as one of the players who was observing your team, at least the two players, take down that 2v4?
I mean, we just had to do, like, Sophia and I were just doing what we had to do, like tracking the kill feed and just knowing where people are and trying to like pinpoint them and help our teammates, like not have to think about anything other than, you know, fragging and playing for themselves. So when it came down to like the last solo getting wiped, we knew it was a 2v4. So we tried to call their location. So I was pretty much just focused on where I thought people were and giving comms for my teammates. But yeah, they out-aimed, I guess.
I mean, like I said, no hate or anything, but I thought you guys were definitely going to second place there. I mean, it was
Yeah,
a
there's no
2v4.
reason we should have won that, but Silers and Penta just destroy them.
Actually,
You guys had no
not-
utility either. Like you had popped all your smokes, the shots just came through. It was crazy. And so were the comms though. Like Dave, I'll let you get to your question in a second, but I like to hear like when people are like, I got good damage on him or I headshot him, and it's actually true, right? Because so many times you hear people say headshot him, and the dude's sitting at 100 HP. Like, like
I was
that
trying to call the
beautiful, right?
damage. I was trying to call the damage to like just allow Penta like the confidence, because Silers would come out, he headshot him, and Penta would come out and like finish him off. That's like what happened on all three of them, I think. And I just trying to instill confidence in him to peek it and kill him, because I think confidence is huge in PUBG. And when you're like you said, when it's actually a headshot, it's actually helpful information. So yeah.
So, D-Rich, you brought it up, the whole confidence thing. Coming into this game, I believe the squad was in 10th place on the overall leaderboards. You guys getting a chicken dinner here and 15 kills to go with it. How does that affect the squad moving forward, in your opinion?
I mean, we came in today like low stress. We weren't worried about anything. We had a bad week one for multiple reasons, like mistakes and unlucky and whatever it might be. But we feel confident coming into today. So I think we're just kind of doing what we practice. Just doing our best to stay tight knit and just keep our comms good. And whatever happens. And if you do things right, you end up getting a pretty good game in terms of points, and sometimes you win like that. So yeah, it definitely boosts the morale though, to answer your question.
All right. Hey, D-Rich, best of luck moving forward. 4 more games to go. I'll let you get back to your squad. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back with the final Erangel map of today. Don't go.
Welcome back, everyone. Good afternoon. If you're just joining us, right into the scores before we pop into the final round of Erangel of week number 2. Dave, walk us through what we're seeing and what we might be expecting from some of these teams to make a push before halftime.
Yo, 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 it's your boy Dave making the push, just like our squad 303 esports making the push coming into that last game, 10th place. They're going to find themselves in 5th place, kind of following the same storylines as Meta Gaming before that game. I mean, the point spread is so close. One phenomenal game, one chicken dinner, one chicken nuggets. If you get us like a place and a couple kills to go with it, will boost you up that leaderboard. I mean, these teams are going to be shifting back and forth. So it, to me, you know, if you're down there in 12th, 13th, 14th, like one explosive game, that's all it takes, Esquire. That's all it takes. But no surprise, both being consistent here today so far. Will anybody be able to throw them off? They're thrown up there on the top of the mountain, the top of the iceberg, that cherry up there. Does anyone want a piece of that cherry? It's juicy, baby.
It's juicy. Hey, man, I'm looking to hopefully have some more fights, some more in-game engagements like we just saw. The exciting 2v4s, the unexpected, Dave, is certainly going to be popping off here in week number 2. Plane path in the air, down to the south, it heads. Fair plane, all things considered. Not going to be too devastating for any of the squads here. SDK going to be going back to that tried and tested location of Severity, where they pretty much free and clear hold on to that northern position. Mystery for Zenith will be scouting it out as he drops closer and closer to his teammates, which are going to be going back to that North Georgia Bowl spot, sharing it with the Red Canids.
Yeah, they're going to be sharing it for sure, Esquire. I mean, sharing is caring. Haven't you ever watched the Care Bears growing up? I know you have. I know you have. Secrets are
Is
out.
that what
The Spice
Yearbook
Girls.
Dave with the pigtails used to watch?
The Pigtails, Care Bears, and Spice Girls. I was into all of that stuff. I had a
My
poster
morning
to see
routine,
around.
Dave, was Gilligan's Island, and I think it was like an episode of Pokemon before I would go to school.
Pokemon. Pokemon was my bro. Pokemon was my jam. So we are going to be checking out some squads dropping down here in Georgia Pool, hunting for these Pokemons. Hopefully they got their Pokeballs and their potions ready to go. Got to make sure to click that B button multiple times to make sure that sucker is in the Pokeball. First circle will be going on up. Got a little bit of water in play. Not too bad, not too shabby. But the thing that really worries me, 2 teams down there, military base. We got about 6 teams all the way out there in the east side of this map. And it's going to be one challenge to rotate on into the circle. I mean, the choke points are going to be unreal this game this far.
Certainly, it's not going to be easy, at least as things continue to develop over the course of the next 7 minutes or so for 303 or Oath, unless they make these early rotations. A lot of loot to pick up, very congested loot with these competitive loot settings. So try to make it as fast as possible when you find yourself in a position as such. I also want to take quick note of North Georgia Bowl here. Red Canids were not able to leapfrog over the members of Zenith and get over to that western side of North Georgia where they had been looting, at least in the previous few games. So this is going to be concerning, especially given the fact that the Canids didn't really have too much to pick from. They had a few garage compounds on that eastern side of North Georgia Bowl, but no access to the city itself. And with this northern side of the circle being less than ideal, at least for a priority location to hold on to, they're already going to be forced into a rotation. So where do you go early on here for the Red Canids?
And you know what? That question is going to be on their mind. The pressure, because they're in 13th place, has to be weighing on them as well. With the support from the Twitch chat, I've seen a couple people on Twitch chat like, hey, I stayed up all night, like trying to support your squad. So you got the fans, you got the leaderboard. There's a lot of pressure right now on a couple of these squads, and hopefully that doesn't get the best of them. I mean, we're only in week number 2. But after today, after week number 2 is done, like it's going to be a challenge to kind of make that comeback. Of course, it will be possible, but if you want to end off on the left side of the leaderboard, I mean, let's be real. That's what everyone wants to be. So hopefully the Red Canids could do just that. Currently, they're sitting with 30 points and 24 kills in total.
They took some shots, but Team Bliss is going to be another squad that we check in with here on the eastern side, outside currently of the edges of phase number 1, but no real concerns, at least around them in the immediate vicinity. They are going to have to make that trek from east to west, and that's really where they're going to start to see some of their opponents lie. Shout out, guys, as always, to everyone out there in chat. Dave and I try to interact with you all as much as possible, as much as we can, with a 10-minute delay. But I do see at least one person in chat. Estefy says, Esquire, Apples is calling fake headshots in game, by the way. I don't know, Dave. We'll have to get a confirmation on that. We'll have to talk to Apples and see what the deal is there. But a big shout out to all of you guys for hanging out in chat and watching these games and spend some time with us here on the weekends. Hope you guys are all doing well and enjoying the broadcast.
What is fake headshots in chat?
It's what we were talking about, Dave. Like I told D-Ray, I like it when, you know, players call out that they actually got the damage. It's when it's the classic case of he's one shot. The dude's like full level 3 kit, 100 HP. It's like ready to annihilate you when you peek out thinking it's just gonna be a one tap.
I agree.
From your lack of response, Dave, I can clearly tell that you are one of those players.
My bad.
Generally, they usually fall into the category of the player that yells safe res. It's like the Venn diagram. In the middle is going to be like that player, right?
Listen, no one ever gets me up, man. I'm the support player. You know, if I get knocked, people are just like, yeah, that I mean, it feels bad.
Well, certainly feels bad happening all around the map. Radiance losing 2 members early on here, Dave. I mean, this is kind of just playing to the same theme that this squad has been faced off here over the course of now 2 weeks. I mean, what are they going to be doing here? As Aquila, now one of the 2 remaining members, his car's on fire. A very similar situation to what we saw in game number 1. Somehow able to hop out of that flying Dacia, the flaming Dacia, and remain alive. A last-ditch effort proved to pay off, at least for one of the 2 remaining members of this Radiant squad.
Honestly, if I'm Radiance right now, we see Aguila down there in the swamps. We see McCoy over here in a room once again camping out. I think moving forward, just everybody drop in separate parts of the map and just try to go for placement points and survive, because whatever they're doing right now, it's just not working for them. And this is the 3rd game today that we've seen them in the same exact situation, in my opinion. I mean, every single game plays out the same for this squad. And I'm not sure. I mean, they finally have a centralized position to think that they're good to go. But I mean, are people hunting them? I have no idea. I mean, they're just, I feel like their rotations are what's really holding them back here. And that's something that they definitely want to, you know, look back on and improve on. So that's just my 2 cents.
People stopped hunting the members of Radiance and started hunting each other all around the map. Engagements are now starting to pop off. It's going to be Zenith Esports who was able to find the members of Livid, but in turn, well, Livid found 2 of Zenith's own. Down go Mystery and Old List, leaving Zenith with just 2 left to try to stay alive. Ross is trying to rotate to get closer and closer to his at least remaining teammate. The duo Corsac will be trying to put out the pressure to at least allow that rotation back for Roth from danger. The centralized areas, though, here on the western coast, Dave, are becoming very active. And Radiance, well, we said they were maybe not being hunted, but here come the 4 members of the Houston Hardshifts into the God compound and looking to clear this out. McCoy has already taken big time damage, going to be sitting with about 35% HP. But it's not just going to be the Houston Hardshifts that are looking to possibly take up a position here. Here comes Duel and some of the members of Metagaming as well.
Yeah, I mean, Aguila was taken down and out right there. If I'm McCoy, he's got a barrel and an M4. Like, I know back in the day, one of the strategies would be to fire both your weapons to kind of make the enemies think that there's 2 players here. But I don't know. Would you do this in this situation? Or if you're McCoy, just kind of turtle up as we see him doing, healing on up, throwing out some smokes? I mean, it's definitely a tricky situation to be in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's much for McCoy to do. I think the Houston Hardshifts know that they've got someone in a very vulnerable position. They can all but guess that it's going to be the member of a Radiance left alive here in this God compound. And well, McCoy's just trying to at least stay positive, I guess, here on the 2nd floor. Hold the angles is really all you can do, because nades are going to start flying if the Houston Hardshifts deem it worthy, deem it valuable enough to blow some of that utility. Otherwise, just kind of hang on and see how things play out. They've got the numbers advantage. Dead to rights. Whether or not McCoy can pick up 1 in the process, though, is really the only remaining question here in this compound. As more shots start to ring out around the map, STK going to be mixing it up with the members of Livid. Livid coming off of that engagement over on the west coast will be pushing in to get another bit of contest here against the members of STK, where they've already been able to pick up 1. Curdy goes down, but the trade backs, as well as the third-party presence from several other teams in the area, are proving to be pretty difficult for STK to deal with.
Yeah, we got Michael Fry just prone in the dirt right here, waiting for Shoot to Kill to crest this hill and maybe try to get the thirst on to Soup, as we do see Soup bleeding on out right there in the bottom left-hand corner and will be taken down and out. Let's see if this will pay off for Microfry. Will Uncivil the kill? Yes, they will. And Microfry going to be connecting those initial shots. Around, trying to make sure that this thirst is going to be safe on their side, and Microfry able to secure the squad at least 2 points here, even if they get taken down in 16th place. able to go out with some type of points to add up on leaderboard. But Halo and Luke 12, the last two remaining members left for shoot to kill. Shoot to kill, they like to drop Severny. Circle didn't really favor Severny. Game number 1 shoot to kill did a phenomenal job, but let's go check back in with Duel down here, 4 alive. And I believe, you know, they won game number 1. Let's see what they're talking about right now. Let's see. Let's listen in.
Is there any in the house north, like on a... Where is that? Is there any on blue mark? Or are they just on the ridge?
Don't know. They haven't peeked from there. One's on the ridge on yellow.
Yeah, one blue, one outside.
For this. They'll
Yeah,
fall
one
back
off
eventually.
blue
Just
mark.
chill.
One's on the left side of blue marker on the
Yeah,
yellow
yeah,
house, left
outside.
side of the blue house.
I'm in. I'm safe.
He's
gonna
speaking
bogey
between
there.
the UAS and the building.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah. I'm just gonna play log zoo, Cherry.
McCoy died behind us. He was the incident.
Yeah. Barkin stole one of the kills from West. We should
Hey,
get
didn't-
south side of
No,
Swamp.
wait. Hold on. Let me think about this. Didn't they get killed already by fucking Jen? One of
No,
them?
it's Barkin.
No.
That's
Red.
a different team. I need 7.6. I only have 6 extra bullets.
I'm no 7s. I'm running
Alright,
double 5.
Is this one of our cars that's outside of Swamp?
The buggy is not our car. The other cars
No,
are.
no, this dash on me. So
I think that's them.
Yeah, there's a bin dash on me. We should have south side Swamp as well. We shouldn't just keep in the middle and get stuck.
I want
Yeah,
to
you
get
can
this.
stretch
I'm gonna
down
go for
there.
the. I'm gonna go for
Listen,
this smoke up here.
One of you grab a car and come to me. I need for cover.
Wow. The more F-bombs, the stronger the squad. That's the strat 2020. So if you're not in comms screaming out curse words, then you're doing something wrong, Esquire.
Hey, but one thing I noticed that I thought the members of Duel were doing right is they were pulling it back, right? You heard one of their members say, wait, let's pull this back real quick. Let's get like a better grasp on the area, because that's a good idea with the fact how crowded this southern part of what is now, well, you know, a pretty interesting phase number 2 circle. This took up pretty far north from where the central point of phase number 1 was. And so you saw some pretty drastic rotations come in, and now these teams landing very close to one another. In the south, continues to at least provide us with some action. Shots going to be coming out from Team Bliss's compound, back and forth between them and Metagaming, just a little bit up towards the north on that west coast.
Yeah, I mean, not to mention the circle, what, 25%, maybe 30% water. So, like, just to tack on to your point, like, there's not a lot of real estate available for 14 squads to, you know, safely be in this zone without at least possibly exposing one of their angles to maybe get shot in the process. And we'll see moving forward. A lot of teams opting to kind of try to center up as much as possible. Wild cards out here near Gatka still with 4 alive, so they have the numbers advantage, but they're looking around. They're checking to see what doors are open. They're checking to see if they can pop some tires or, you know, try to deny anything from their enemies. And next circle goes up, it's kind of the same story. You know, water's still going to be in play here. And wow, I mean, we got about 4 teams that need to kind of rethink life right here. And we'll see how they opt moving forward, as we are going to be checking out the shark fin whale tail up here on the east side, or the west side of this new zone. Team Bliss, they have a really good position. I really like this position from Team Bliss. We haven't really seen much from them here tonight either, Esquire. So hopefully with this new position, it could set them up for some good points and some placements. I would like to see it.
Yeah, this could possibly be the game. They don't really have to worry about anything towards their west flank or their south flank. All of their teams are really focused over towards the east and the north. If they continue to maintain those positions, watch those angles that keep Metagaming from approaching across the roadside and really infiltrating that area, they should be good. But Meta has all 4 alive. They picked up 1 kill so far and are going to be looking to try to capitalize on any other threats, Team Bliss being a significant one on that southwestern area of the map. Rotation's going to be coming in from other squads. Singularity going to be bombing down that west coast beach, trying to avoid shots coming in from Atletico, but going to be stalled off in the process of doing so. The engagement does pop off. Big SLR shots going to be coming in as they try to protect one another and try to at least shore up this position on the shore itself.
Yeah, if I'm Team Bliss up here, I don't exactly know what type of scopes they're working with, but we saw S&G over there on the beach. I would wait for S&G to kind of stop moving around, let them feel like they are safe in their location, and then open up the shots. And I do believe that's kind of the strategy that they opted to take, as I do see a couple shots on the mini map now finally erupting on over there from the side of Team Bliss. But like I mentioned, I don't know exactly what these scopes are looking like. Meanwhile, Wildcard getting ready to potentially get into a engagement with 303. I mean, 303, 15 kills last game. Remember, we spoke to them during the interview. They said that confidence level is just on fire right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see them make a little more aggressive plays here in this game because of that confidence.
303 is making aggressive plays. Wildcard making interesting plays. They were previously in a pretty wide 2-2 split. They've been able to reunite somewhat, but they continue to send Thumer down south. They were holding on to the 3-1. Now they're in a 1-2-1 with Kickstart and Sharpshot, those two veteran members of the Wildcard roster, as you mentioned, Dave, still holding on just off to the eastern flank of where 303 is. Around the map, though, fight continues to break out. The Sonics around the observatory and swamp will be finding one of the members of Ferox. Cozy is going to be the first to go down. A knock trying to find the flush, and the other members will be Mime pushing to the base of the hillside.
Gonna be pushing over here. We do have smokes. We have a couple vehicles for cover. All these teams just kind of waiting to see where this next circle goes as well. I mean, they don't really want to take full-on engagement before seeing where the circle goes. And we're gonna look up here. Wildcard, they're gonna be right on top of 303 still. I mean, these two teams have just been kind of going back and forth for the past couple minutes here. And it looks like Big Thumer is gonna be opening this one up, popping out some grenades as we see those grenades inflicting damage right now onto 303, down to only one member alive here. 19 health. I mean, it's not looking good. It's not looking good.
It wasn't looking good for them in the last game either, Dave, as far as first place was concerned, but they surprised us then. Unfortunately, it won't happen this game. Down goes Silers, the remaining member of that squad. Kickstart able to find the final kill. And out goes 303 Esports in 14th place position. The North opens up a little bit for the members of Wildcard to work with, as the Northwest, however, starts to pop off. Kodak and the rest of Singularity going to be pushing up towards the north, while Metagaming has been pushed back. They no longer hold on to the roadside position. It's been taken over, Dave, by that Sharkfin team of Team Bliss. They become a little bit more aggressive in that they at least push them back somewhat, but they have to be careful here not to get flanked too hard by the other members of Metagaming that sit in the compound just up towards the north.
Yeah, I mean, they can easily get backstabbed here. Thankfully for them, they do have this nice hill that they can use as cover. They know nobody's going to be behind them because that's where they just came from. So if they want to get into a fight, they can just pop on over there, get some information. As we do see them kind of wrapping around, trying to essentially sneak up onto Metagaming, but Metagaming recognizing this, yeah, their Team Bliss, they're going to be stuck. They're going to be stuck for the time being. We saw the mini-map for just a second there. I am really loving Sonic's position. I mean, they're like Shrek right now in the swamp, right smack in the middle. No one's going to be able to push this safely, Esquire. Not even Fiona.
At the very least, they're not even going to want to, and that's what plays so heavily in favor for the Sonics right now. Team's going to be trying to make massive plays right now. Metagaming going to be soaring up Singularity as well on the members of Atletico. Shots come out, but so do nades, and they go flying along with the buggy that got hit by it. There's Extreme 2G just trying to maintain his life, but he's unable to do so. The third party comes in. It's not going to be another team from the OCE, but sure enough, another player from the OCE. Luke 12 with the SKS from downtown ends up finding a kill onto that Atletico member. Down goes another one, leaving them with just Flood and Nick alive in the fields, trying to avoid now two different teams. It could be three here in a second as Zenith starts to roll up.
Wow, just opening it up with that buggy explosion, actually insane kind of the start of this fight over here. SNG popping off, Nick 101 taken down in the kill feed. Luke 12 trying to get some more points on the board right here, but Zenith Esports roster with that star just waiting for that rotate, and that was nasty as far. SNG F's in the chat right there. I am sorry, you got two alive though. Let's see if they can continue to survive, but Zenith Esports are hot on the case.
Hot on the case, and so are maybe some other teams. They started to spin out. Pome's vehicle got knocked over by his teammate, and they're able to bomb into the compound. But bombing into the compound are going to be the nades from Singularity, aggressively playing into the other members of this squad. ENP and Pome going to be trying to defend this. Zenith trying to drop down from the north, but they've been tagged down. Roth still going to be bleeding out, with, I believe, Atletico still able to stay alive here with Zoidmate and Flood. So they're going to be wrapping around and certainly wrapping down south, as this next phase 5 has not been friendly for our teams up towards the north. Everyone's going to have to make movement, and amongst this chaos, it's only going to get worse for these squads as they continue on down to the south.
Yep, good old-fashioned wraparound. You love to see it. Houston hardships out here, though, not loving it, as they are getting shot from multiple angles, and seems like they have gotten the attention of Duel, the squad that you definitely don't want to be on the kill list of, as Michael's going to be in the back. Cherry FPS also on the front, trying to take some shots as well. Houston Hardships, they're in their own fight. They're in their own fight with Oath, trying to defend the block that they do have right now. And you know what? They're going to get sandwiched here in just a moment. They do have these smokes to work with. Loeb's going to be taken down as well. Chubba Bubba already dead. And now it's just down to one member left. And it is just falling apart for both teams as far as be real.
For everyone. We had a third party come in from one of the members of Ferox, like from a far distance, an unexpected shot. Tagged down one of the members of Oath, and everyone's sort of falling apart. Oath is going to be left with one member alive, Snakers. Houston Hardships is going to be left with one member alive, J-Sank. They're in hot pursuit of one another. They're not even worried about the circle right now. Snakers has trying to stay alive on his mind, and J-Sank has death and revenge on his mind. Cresting over the hill right now. Both players will have the opportunity to spray down, but it's Snakers, the huge fragger for this Oath squad, able to find it first. He's able to get the damage, able to get the kill, and now possibly able to get the entry off the eastern side of this phase 5 circle. Meanwhile, though, Ferox's solo member is going to be spotted out. That solo member who played a pretty impactful role for those teams just fighting over towards the east is going to be wiped out by Wildcard. The observatory on the northeastern side of this circle going to be secured.
And SNG, though, still alive. I believe one member is up trying to get that revive. Atletico also still alive. Everybody just kind of collapsing in on this swamp area. Remember, we do have a squad right smack in the middle on that little tiny island trying to defend it. But we are down to 9 teams remaining. Snaker's still going to be alive for Oath. If you are Snakers, all you want to do right now, go for placements. You're in first place on the overall leaderboards. Don't get too aggressive. Just make sure to outlive these other teams. As you know, if you are Snakers, you see the kill feed popping off, you have a smile on your face. Atletico down to only one member left. They're gonna be right on the edge of the zone. They have the tree, they have the rock, but they're thirsty, Esquire. They are looking to get these confirms onto SNG.
We'll see if they're going to be able to find it. Duel are going to be able to at least capitalize on their sights on the members of Wildcard. Headshot Connection going to be dropping Kickstart in the process. Singularity trying to recover off of the damage they're taking from both Atletico and Meta. Damage all around. The chaos has not stopped, Dave, since about the early to mid-game transition. Shift up here towards the northern side of things will still certainly be implicating the swamp area. That is still going to be nicely held, at least as you mentioned, Dave, by the members of Sonics. They've got that kind of island protected by the moat of swamp around them.
And they have a vehicle. I mean, I don't know how important now come into the late game, but they have 2 vehicles to work with that have fresh tires. So they definitely have the option to go for a vehicle rotate. And it seems like they have the information on the side of the position of where Wildcard is. Now, Wildcard with 4 alive going to be up there on the high ground, just leaving their observatory. Probably not going to get too aggressive here. There's really no reason to. But Duel trying to claim a piece of the swamp for themselves right now. Going to be tossing a bunch of grenades onto that last remaining member of the Red Knids. They're not going to go out without it.
No, they aren't. Yeah, Lamplot had a quick drop onto one of the 2 remaining members of the Knids, but now the solo player, RDN, is able to find the trade back. Down goes Lamp. However, the other 3 members of Duel are going to look to try to close this out in quick fashion. Duel has been very active, Dave. They're not going to be sitting back whatsoever, at least so far on the afternoon, and let things develop around them. They're one that likes to at least dictate these types of situations. The Lamp does, looks like, yep, they're going to be able to get the res. Down go the Knids. Wooly pulls in and closes out the Knids push here in game number 3, out in 7th place. They will be going. 6 teams remain. Wildcard holds on to the far eastern edge. And Dave, they're in one of the more precarious positions here on the map. They've got to push through this swamp. Let's tune in now and see how they're going to do it.
Peeking the back window towards me.
I'm holding bathroom. I'm holding back window. I'm holding back window on the run up. You guys
One's gonna go outside.
We need
WK. The swamp was so body. We need WK.
He's on fire. He's on fire. I'm mauling inside.
I'm not twin. I'm not twin.
Let's go. Kick. Let's Ting. Wait for me. Ting. Wait for me. Go. 3, 2, 1. Go.
Twins flush. The rest are. He was rezzing Profi outside.
Nice.
He res. Stolen. From with it. Get
outside. Get inside.
Yeah. Last one outside.
Profi's dead. Profi's dead.
Is that all dead?
Yeah, all dead here.
Kick your door.
It's fine.
Reset and look south. Somebody peek south if you're up.
Yeah.
Dave, are you kidding me right now? What is going on in these matches? Teams that have pretty high odds against them are coming up with these massive plays. The Sonics, we had just talked about how great their position was if they could defend it. Wild card, we talked about how tough their position was to rotate through the swamp. The Molotovs came in huge.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Man on Fire 2 times in a row. That's actually one of my favorite movies, but they were able to clear that one out. They got the revive on the sharp shot. They're back up to 4. And you know what? After their hard work right there, let's give them circle number 7. They're going to be one of the only squads with hard cover right now, going to be looking out there in the distance as we are checking out Meta Gaming there. Squaring off with Team Bliss. Remember, Team Bliss have been on the west side for the majority of the game, up to 4 kills, and they're finally making their way on into the zone here. And they have a challenge. They got to cross this road, and they're getting third-partied, but they're doing a good job so far at keeping Metagaming at bay.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if the squad wipe onto the Sonics wasn't enough of a sting, the circle shift, which pretty much shows how favored that island inside of the swamp is, definitely hurt a little bit more. Team Bliss has surprisingly been able to stay alive and push in from that far western coast position this entire time. Although it's been difficult, they've been able to come up on top of these battles victorious up until the point where now Wildcard looks over to the west and is able to find a nice headshot. SLR connection coming in from Kickstart, going to be huge to at least keep the members of Team Bliss at bay off that.
Yeah, and we're down to only one more member for Metagaming, but Metagaming, they know how to go for that winning strategy. They know how to go for that insurance policy and just survive and get these placements. Even though Duel and Wildcard are both looking in the direction, it doesn't matter because we got Navy SEAL Snakers in the swamp right now, in the marshes, just sneaking on up. I think I saw a little snorkel on there. He might be underwater, just, you know, Navy SEAling it to the max right here.
What are those swamp snakes? Bladder? Is it what are they called? No, you know what I'm talking about, Dave. The
Loch Ness.
No, what are they? They're in Texas. I don't know why I can't think of them.
Texas? You got swamp snakes.
You know, snakes that are in like rivers and everything. They can swim, but they're very deadly, and they're all black.
Oh, water
moccasins. No, not cottonmouth. Not cottonmouth. Water moccasins. Yes,
yeah,
water moccasins. Yeah, they're deadly, man.
Things are deadly.
Very deadly. So
I think he's a Navy SEAL. I think he's a Navy SEAL, not a water
Okay, yeah, there we go. Let's talk about phase 8. It devastatingly shifts over to the western side, at least for 3 teams. Oath, Wildcard, and now Duel, all going to be in a hot contest to just get inside of this eastern part of phase number 8. Wooly going to be prepping some nades, trying to throw them up to the compound that Wildcard is trying to hold on to. These nades aren't necessarily intended to flush them out, but really just keep them at bay long enough for Duel to come up victorious. Michael going to be flushed out of the game. Another kill going down for Duel leaves them with 2 remaining. The numbers not going to be playing out in their favor.
Yeah, I mean, Lamplot and Wooly. Right now, I feel like they're kind of tunnel visioned onto Wildcard in their compound. I guess they need to be, because I don't really see any clear path on how they can rotate without at least taking out Wildcard. Wildcard with the high ground advantage on top of the roofs are aware of the 2 members over there from Duel. We'll see how this one plays out. I mean, maybe they can go for that Navy SEAL strat and kind of just snorkel in the water, try to be spotted. But Bliss still in the west over here, still alive. They also have a tremendous foothold in this circle as Snaker's Seal was just taken out right there.
You almost think, though, what could Bliss have done differently in this position to possibly try to swing things more in their favor? They could have possibly pushed across the road and really choked off Wildcard from doing much here, but it seems like this hillside position actually might be enough to do so. Blue Zone on the back of Wildcard is going to be that pressure point. Metagaming might be able to come up with another solo player second place finish. That these teams on the east aren't going to be able to make it in. Down goes Wooly, down goes Duel. In 4th place position, Wildcard heavily under fire, going to be losing members left and right. Tiggleton going to be dropped down. Kickstart flushed out of the game. Big Thumer, aka Keenan, the lone player for Wildcard, stacked the deck left alive. 12 kills to their name. Are they going to be able to do anything? Ragnar going to be showing his face and his position down from the south. Possibly a little bit too early. Could have very easily secured that 2nd place, but hell, it's not even going to matter at this stage in the game. Dave, we could see a solo player come up with the 1st place finish here.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, I know you want to see choke out everybody. We'll see if they can do that with their 3-man advantage, 8 kills to their name, but they need to make sure not to spread apart from each other too much right here, because there are 2 solos, and we've seen in the past the solo can inflict major damage over here. Ragnar, that solo member, going to be taking some blue damage. Ooh, maybe by mistake over there, because they are going to be in the smoke, and it looks like they're going to actually deny a point. Maybe that was the call from the squad over there, leaving a 3v1. Big Doomer trying to get the clutch here, Esquire. Do you believe is the question.
I don't know, Wildcard fans. Do you believe Big Doomer able to find the first aid, recover up to 75 HP, and a dream? Blue zone on his backside. The ultimate collapse here at phase number 9 will not stop for anyone. A shot to come out. Jumi going to be tagged down. Trades back and forth. Jumi goes down. The trade, though, for the blue zone comes in and seals the deal. Team Bliss from OCE from the far west coast of Erangel end up finding their first victory of the day. 18 points to boot, Dave. This is going to be a great and much needed pickup for the squad as we roll into the second half of the afternoon.
Yep, Team Bliss from down under coming out on top right here this game. Much needed points for the squad. That chicken dinner is going to be tasting good. Hopefully they got some ketchup over. They got some barbecue sauce, some hummus, and some cheese to go with it, because my goodness, they were so hungry for that much needed chicken as far.
Hey, so hungry, and they got it. Speaking of getting got, that's 3 games in the book of Erangel 2.0. We're going to rotate now into Sandhawk for 1 match, and then 2 games of Miramar to close out what will then be almost the late afternoon to evening. Big shout out to you guys in chat once again for sticking tuned with us and hanging out throughout the weekend. If you haven't gotten up PUBG competitive after today, make sure to tune in tomorrow as well. We've got the Pro League for 303 Royale for the European region that's going to be popping off. Then we might have an interview, Dave.
Get got, son. Get got, son.
Don't go nowhere. We got an interview, I believe. Blissy.
With Jumbi.
Or Jumbi. Yeah.
Jumbi. How's it going, Jumbi?
Yeah, good yourselves.
How's it going? I mean, I'm okay. I'm chilling. You guys were under pressure. Tell me though, how did that that whale tail position, the shark tooth that you had out there in the west on the coast, how'd that kind of play into you guys getting this win here? Because I feel like that was such a important position from the squad.
It was pretty important for us so we could like scout him like with our back clear, but we got like a really lucky shift that kept us in and kept the 2 reds in front of us out, which like allowed us to like flank them and pretty much just keep clearing like up to the north. So I think the feed that we got in like 3 or 4 was like the most important thing for us that game.
So as you guys like continued on, once you were able to cross the road, it was metagaming that was kind of holding you guys on Sharkfin for at least quite some time. Once you crossed the road, were there any real concerns when you heard all of the fights breaking out in the swamp, or was it really just hang back and kind of let it all develop?
We weren't open to the swamp at all once we started hitting like towards the road ridge. So like I was just commenting that we don't need to focus them at all. We just kill whatever's in front of us, push them, and we have our own cover. Like we don't need to worry about anyone in the forest.
So let's look at this. Going into now the Sandhawk match of the day, I believe going into this game, you guys were sitting in 12th place position. Y'all are going to absolutely climb the leaderboards from this point gain. What is the plan outside of obviously going for first place? Is anything going to shift for you guys after these first 3 games have played out now?
Probably not. Like we really messed up in the first 2 games. We kept getting really good positions and then just making silly mistakes. So I think that game there was like really important for us to like keep playing our aggressive play style and trying to push people. So hopefully now like the confidence is back and we can just keep being, frag hungry.
All right. And we have a lot of OCE fans in the chat. Real quick, I mean, anything you would like to kind of mention, anything you'd like to tell your fans out there, the OCE fans?
I just want to say thanks to the people that are actually up at 3 a.m. supporting all of us, like whether you're supporting Ath, Ferox, or us. Like it's really nice seeing like in the VODs all the emotes, the Bliss emotes and whatnot. So thank you heaps, and hopefully we can play our best for yous.
Oh heck yes! All right, OCE, if you are watching and you are sitting up at 3 a.m., go grab a coffee, go grab a Red Bull, because we got 3 more games to go. We're gonna set up the Sandhawk map. Don't go nowhere. We will be right back in a couple moments.
I've got to go all the way to eternity. Gravity, take me up. As beautiful as it's been, it's time for me to go. I wanna sail away. I wanna feel the weightlessness of my soul. I've gotta go all the way to eternity. I will run all the way to see you. I've gotta go all the way through time and space to find my voice, to see you, and I'll go. Lift my feet off the ground, let gravity take me up. As beautiful as it's been, it's time for me to go. I wanna sail away. I wanna feel the weightlessness of my soul.
The afternoon, we now switch gears over from Erangel 2.0 to the Rumble in the Jungle. Sandhawk, the newest addition to the competitive map lineup for PUBG esports that these players are going to be dropping down onto. Now, Dave, most recent bit of Sandhawk that we got to watch on the European side of the 303 esports Season 2 Royale was on Sunday. It was pretty hot, it was pretty contested, and it was pretty action-packed. What are we thinking this round of Sandhawk play is going to turn out to be here?
If I had to guess, circle number one is probably gonna have some quarry in it. There's probably gonna be 2 teams dropping Pioneer. No teams going Paradise. That's my guess. Pretty specific.
That's a beautiful guess, Dave. Let's get game number 4 underway, though, and with it, a very, very unfavorable plane path, at least as far as all things are concerned. It's not going to be too bad, but it is favored heavily down towards the southwestern side of Sandhawk. Now, it's not going to cut off, as I mentioned, too many teams from reaching all across the northern side. The 4x4 kilometer map tends to play out that way, but will teams end up kind of maybe dropping a little bit closer than normal based off of the shift?
Yeah, I mean, I'm so curious, especially these teams. You know, I like to think of Sandhawk as kind of that reset from the earlier half on in the day. So if you're a squad, you didn't perform to the best of your abilities, you know what? Shake it off, you know, shake and bake, Ricky Bobby, dust it off your shoulder, as Jay-Z would say. But I'm interested to see like how the columns are. I'm interested to see and listen to the mentalities of the squads, and you know, hopefully their vibes are just still good with an upbeat, you know, mentality, because 3 more games to go. I mean, they're only halfway done for today, right? So even if you had a rough start, like you can definitely make the comeback.
Yeah, you got ample opportunity to make the comeback. It is going to be an 18-game series to proceed then into the grand finals. But before we get there, circle number 1 for game number 4 is already going to be one that at least trends in favor of the plane path. Many of the teams that at least stay close to the plane path are going to be rewarded for that. The Corey, though, Dave, I mean, you called it right off the bat. It is going to be definitely inside of this first circle, and that's going to be an area of the map that teams are going to try to avoid at all costs. They might take up maybe some of the positions on the edges of the quarry, some of those high up elevated compounds that are available. But as far as deep down inside of the quarry, last ditch positions for some of these teams that are going to be late inside of the circle.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, Corey, not the best locations to find yourself kind of in the pits of. I mean, I know it has some decent loot, but teams on the outskirts can easily look down, spot you out, and take you down and out. We do see, I believe that is wild card all the way up there to the northwest. They're all spread apart for the time being, trying to get as much loot as possible. Camp Alpha currently occupied by 1 enemy. If you are wild card, you're probably going to just swim across that little inlet right there to maybe rotate on into boot camp. I'm not exactly sure. It is going to be interesting to see what they opt to do. But moving forward, I'm trying to look for a squad that I can really pinpoint kind of favor just based off of positioning alone. I can't really pick one right now, I swear. I mean, everybody's kind of all spread out for the time being. We do have a team all the way out there on the East Coast that probably are going to have an easy time. That's Oath. And, you know, last game, Oath, they were down to just snakers in the end there. They got picked apart on their rotations. I know they're in first place, but I feel like they've just been kind of maintaining their point lead. They really haven't been popping off too much, I feel like, here today.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, Dave. And in doing so, they've sort of allowed other teams on the leaderboards, specifically Duel, as one that strikes my mind, the opportunity to try to at least somewhat close that point gap and chase them in that first place position. As we talk about that, though, just at the 3.5-minute mark of this game, the action will already start to pop off. Shoot to Kill has encroached onto the compound where Livid was trying to at least hold shelter, maybe get a little bit of loot as well, but it is going to be at least slightly overtaken. Well, Caden is going to be the first to drop out. The first blood here of game number 4.
Yep, Caden taking down now. Honey Badger with that M249 lock and loaded, ready to unload here on Sandhawk. I mean, 75 bullets, you're almost guaranteed to take down 1 or 2 enemies with the initial magazine, but that's a third party. I mean, Shoot to Kill right in front of them, trying to collapse in onto Livid. And like you mentioned, Caden already down the first blood of this game, I do believe so. And looks like Corey is starting to speed up. Let's go listen on to STK. Let's go check on in.
He's out left side.
I'm wrapping on the orange guys.
Running in first right, right.
You gotta not go for it.
Oh, it's okay. There's 2 in here already.
I'm lagging. So give me a- These guys are already gone. They're
He's
on
knocked.
track.
Yeah, he ran.
Okay.
Who did you just knock? I knocked
Mine.
Broken wall orange.
They're in the building as well, though.
Yeah, H1 and Trimsy were
They're
already
4
inside.
men in there. Yep.
Roger.
I'm wrapping back towards you, Luke. Let us play up. Can you get back, Crosshair?
Yeah.
Is there another Livid one still in there?
I'm not sure.
Should have been.
Okay.
He might have gotten out though, like right away.
I'm gonna check this tower real quick for gear, Luke. Unfortunate.
you think we have to go east scoring now, or are we just chilling?
We can chill. We could definitely use you getting up if possible, but it's gonna be rough for you. You can.
Good comms from the members of STK as we started to at least get a glimpse of how they were going to deal with their positioning now inside of this circle. Purdy Luke talking about shoring up that northern quarry cliffside with possibly being able to leave Alo in that drop down position. However, they did talk about also wanting to pull him back up. So we'll see how that continues to play out for the 3 remaining members of Shoot to Kill at this stage of the game. But the blue zone continues to push in. And with that, other teams have begun to migrate towards these locations. Atletico going to be dropping down just to the northern side of STK. While the Houston Hard Shifts, at least they're going to be holding on just south of Livid. Livid already losing 1 member early on here. Are going to be very careful with how they continue on, but they find themselves now pinched in between 2 pretty aggressive, Dave, and powerful squads, the Sonics and the Hard Shifts.
Yeah, I mean, we listened into those comms. I definitely thought they were going to make the push, but then, you know, kind of realizing it's still very early on. We're only in phase number 1. There's still 16 teams alive. Like, is that push worth it? And that's something that these teams need to kind of take into consideration, because if you push this early, you run the risk of getting squad wiped and essentially having no points to go towards those leaderboard. So we'll see. And it looks like Metagaming kind of doing the same thing, a little bit of peacocking. They popped on their heads out like a groundhog, took some shots, then quickly retracting back on into the safety of their compound. So that's just the name of the game here on Sandhawk. Nobody really wants to for the first move, because once when you do, you run the risk of a third party or a fourth party. So I definitely understand why we see these plays coming out right now.
Shots starting to line themselves up here just off of the southern edge of Painan. It's going to be the members of Duel who have been able to make their way across the river now into the face of one of the members of 303. It's Sophia that watches from the hillside just off to the east of where Duel is currently lined up, but it's the firing squad down to the south. That line of 303 members, Pentalol, D-Rich, and Stylers that are going to be possibly poising themselves to put out some significant damage onto the members of Duel, just as phase number 2 does shift us down further and further south, Dave. The quarry is now going to be the northern position here inside of the circle, where SDK has started to at least migrate around. But other teams like Wildcard and Atletico are going to have to make drop downs that could put them in some very risky engagement.
Yeah, I'm over here looking at, like you said, Wildcard. They're kind of like the nomads out here, rotating neck to neck with Atletico. 303 Esports, though, having an explosive game here tonight. I believe 15 kills. Same thing with Duel. I mean, both these teams have been really good here in their performance tonight. And looks like 303, they're going to be on the outskirts up here on the high ground. Meanwhile, D-Rich utilizing the coast right now. Let's go listen in. Let's see what they're doing. What are they planning?
I don't have.
One's in the corner on my mark. Green, right corner. He left.
Word.
No, he's still in green.
I can try and nade it. You might have seen me.
I'm getting shouted by very far away from right.
Yeah, we should probably fall off then. I think
From
Ben's
the
right. We need to get
shot
access into the zone.
I'm fucked up here.
Okay.
Play for you guys. I'm fucked up here.
Yeah.
Compound.
No, I'm gonna stop picking those guys. I think it's 2 guys on green.
Yeah, I'm not sure where the other is.
Cannot do
I
shit.
think they're all in the compound. Like, I don't see anyone like on here. If they come towards me, I can easily knock them.
I just feel like they might have someone spoiling, like thrown outside or something.
Yeah,
I'm getting
yeah,
shot
here.
from so far
aggressive,
away,
man?
bro. Yeah, I'm good. I'm getting shot from another team.
I'm gonna get knocked, guys. Fucking SKS. Trash.
Do I need to push him, Silas?
No, no, it's good. I'm just gonna
I
chill here.
knocked one of Ath in 170.
Can you run coastline, Silas, on blue?
I'm gonna try to.
And then swim on blue?
I'm smoking my way up.
I need to run towards you guys again. I don't feel safe here.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they didn't play very aggressive.
I'm good. I'm good.
So there's another team on yellow.
Where do you want me to cross though?
It's Ath on orange. I knocked
Oh,
one.
Try and cross to these rocks, Silas, in front of us on blue.
I can't.
We can help you from blue, or we can help you from Atletico.
I think we need to do something on the guys on my mark.
I think it's fine though. Like we can play towards yellow later on my way for you.
People are on blue, I think, is what I'm hearing.
I'm good for now, but
I'm
I
still
cannot
holding
trust
compound.
until those guys are still on your side though.
Are you guys looking?
303 tried to at least choke out the members of Duel, but in the process of doing so, they found themselves third-partied from a few squads up towards the north. Now Siler is going to be left on the opposite side of his team. This next shift is going to be that devastating mark for them because they are not going to be favored by this positioning at all. They've got to get Silers across while still maintaining their presence with all of the other teams around them and trying to lock down the west. It's not going to be easy for 303 continuing on, but it's also not going to be easy for our teams up towards the north. Wildcard specifically is going to start to drop down now out of the blue zone, and trying to secure the northern side will likely clash with the members from Atletico very, very quickly, but then also maybe draw in some of the presence of Team Bliss.
Yeah, I mean, Wildcard full on sending it right now. Going to be collapsing on into Atletico. I believe Sharp Shot in the front. Aggressor on the finding out one of the members, Nick 101. Meanwhile, Nick 101 probably asking for support as we do see the brigade on the side of Atletico coming to provide that much needed support. Mate on the off angle, trying to hold it down, making sure that they don't get wrapped around. We'll be finding out one of the members, I believe Kickstart, yeah, taking down Kickstart, pretty much leveling the playing field, but Extreme 2G gonna be evacuating the area right here. They're not confident in this fight as far, and you know what, for a good cause, because they lost a lot of those trades right there, and they did have a compound to work with. They had that hard cover. They're gonna be pulling them back. Meanwhile, we got more fights erupting out here. Wildcard, they're probably going to be able to get that revive. I don't think it was a thirst, if I'm not mistaken.
Not a thirst. Oath is going to be annihilating Zenith Esports in the process. Out goes our first team of the match in the 16th place position, while more and more engagements continue to just blow up all over the map. Down to the far south on the edge now of phase number 3. The Red Canids in an epic clash with Singularity trades back and forth between both squads. I mean, hell, it's going to be 5.56 rounds slung in one direction and grenades flung back in the other direction between both of these squads to now find us in a very, very awkward battle with both teams depleted on numbers. 2 going to be alive here for Singularity, 2 going to be out on their feet for the Red Canids as they look to try to at least keep their team alive here.
Yeah, kill demo right behind over here, SNG, trying to get those initial shots onto ENP, but kind of missing a couple of them. Going to be swapping these weapons, and ENP definitely aware right now, having a here. Meanwhile, the fight still near that cave, just south of it. Red Canids going to be getting picked apart right here, down to only one member alive. SNG looks to be getting the better half of the Red Canids, but there's only one more member as well. So both teams going to be going back in their cover, trying to get the reset. Only thing is, Quick is so far from home.
Yeah, and while that happened, Atletico tried to push into the warehouse where the members of the Sonics were, and they got wiped out in the process. 13 teams now remain. That number is quickly going to be dropping, with Singularity's solo member Pome getting spotted out on the hillside. A saving grace possibly for the Red Canids as they now hold on to very securely and very dominantly the southwestern side of this next phase shift. Duel might be looking to enter in off of this side, though, try to climb the hill of the cave, so Red Canids have to try to defend this position as best as possible. 303 on the opposite side of them. You can see just how crowded this southwestern side of the playfield is.
Extremely crowded, and you know what, for once Radiance is going to be favoring these circles. At least they took up that compound about 2 circles ago, and it just continues to shift on top of them. So hopefully they'll be able to rack up some points this game. Duel over here on the edge, though, trying to fight their way on into the circle, trying to pull up right behind the previous engagement. Red Canids versus SNG, and it looks like they're going to be tossing out some grenades. Lampalot trying to get behind them here with the M4 on the 4x scope, and the kill feed. What just happened?
Hey, that's the Microfry N249 Wombo combo right there in the kill feed for sure. Duel going to be pushing up now. Shots coming out. It is going to be the Red Canids coming up once again. They are able to spot out Lampalot, wipe him off the map, leaving now a solo player. Michael, previously of the Team Solo mid roster in the PEL of 2019, going to be coming over now to help the boys out of Duel. and we'll see just how much help he can provide here. It's not going to be an easy time playing off this far western edge. Pinched in between a tiered elevation. Living. Oh, the fire's spreading and people are going down. Soup is burning. Micro fries burning. Honey badgers getting knocked out of here. And Radiance Day, for the first time tonight, are picking up some good points. This is what they need, but can they find the final member with about a few HP? Micro fry. There he goes. McCoy with the QBU. Beautiful shots from downtown. That elevated position, Dave, was something we talked about being played off of the quarry. We'll see how Radiance and the rest of their members alive are going to be playing off of it right now.
There's two knocked that building. Alright. Right side. Nice.
Knocked him. One up.
Is there more? We don't. Yeah.
We gotta pick over the street together.
Yeah, we need
on the great tree north.
Yes, to come in. This right side tree.
Nice.
Watch east.
Come east.
What do you watch, SDK?
Yeah, I'm looking left.
You can look from the building. Don't go out.
We need to focus east, guys. East in the open right now.
Okay. Maddie, you walk left. They can shoot east. You guys are still in. East ties with them.
Are they in the smokes?
You're looting Batty.
Real quick. Yeah.
Agila, you watch east. East ties. Patty can watch west.
Okay, you guys
Patty,
make sure you watch
over.
the fence.
Yeah, he is. He's looting right now, but
Where was they at?
No,
I'm peeking.
They were below you. They were below you in green. They were below you in green.
I need meds.
I knocked Purdy. Patty, zoom in. Like right there. Okay,
Right
see
here?
the box? To the left of that.
Okay.
Yeah, like right there.
Sorry,
yeah,
I needed first aids, dude. East,
Yeah,
People dropping into this compound. People drop like this.
Yeah, watch east. There's people in orange in there still.
Relax, guys. Reset. We're good.
There's a 6x too.
Yeah, I grabbed one.
There's the tagged one. On his.
Good positioning going to be held by the members of Radiance, still inside of this phase 5 circle. Going to be holding on to the northeast, the same compound that they were able to deal devastating blows to several squads. They picked up a massive amount of points there, but now Metagaming going to be the next team in the squad site just off of the hillside of where Radiance is currently sitting. Down goes Sizian. He's going to be the first to drop. 3 going to be alive. Ragnar and Sparking going to be trying to push up to get to the hillside to avoid those lines of sight. The going to be in the hands of Sparking, looking to see if they can't capitalize on a dome shot on one of the Radiance members.
Yeah, I feel like Metagaming, they're always kind of poking the hornet's nest every single game we see them in here, and essentially
it's them in Radiance every time.
Yeah. I mean, they're a magnet, like you said in game number 1. And look at that, the one tap. What was that? That was like a no scope right there, able to connect on the Shinboy. Shinboy's gonna be having to go back and watch the death cam and the replay on that one, and that was a nice shot. I'm so happy we were able to catch that on the spectator cam. I mean,
that's a clip, Dave. That's a highlight clip.
That's the thing is, though, they're kind of getting scattered right now. In my opinion, they're pushing left, they're pushing right. It doesn't seem like it's clear on where they want to go here, and they can't pick the apart though, Esquire, from multiple angles.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure 2 kills just got stolen away right there, and they get dropped down. I think 1 member left alive, and that's going to be all she wrote. Down goes the final member. Out in 7th place will be the members of Metagaming. A good push for them, and certainly a great clip moment for one of their players, but it's not going to be enough to carry them into the top 5. 6 teams still going to be remaining with the Southern shift coming in. It's going to be now a difficult stance for Radiance to take. They're going to be facing off against Oath coming in from the east, and then our team's already in secured positions on the northern side of things. Specifically going to be Shoot to Kill. Luke and Alo, a duo, trying to be impactful here in the late game.
Yeah, I mean, they're in the north. They're pretty much just hunkering down for the time being. Their shots whizzing over their heads right now. We still see the squad of Radiance trying to make their way on into the circle. They might accidentally stumble upon the 2 remaining members of Shoot to Kill, because this is a nice little path to rotate on in here if you want to wrap around and take that fight onto Sweet Soul and all those dudes over there from Livid, I believe that is. Ferox.
Shots popping off. SDK going to be in a massive pinch position now between Radiance and Ferox as the bullets fly overhead. Luke going to be prepping some nades, trying to fling them out over to the east to keep Radiance at bay. Pressure going to be served, and damage going to be served up even better. Boom, boom, boom. And now Radiance is getting dismantled by multiple different directions. A few seconds is all it took And Radiance is going to be dropped out in 6th place position. This opens up a lot for STK to work with. Their eastern flank is going to be all but clear now, especially with Relo going down to the blue zone. The flush comes out. Kill going to be post-mortemly, or whatever you want to call it, confirmed right there. That's a great, at least, pickup for Radiance. They did a great job at least securing some points, which is what they really needed to do here as we transition into the second half of the evening. But Shoot to K is not going to be pulling off here. They're swarming now on top of the members of Ferox. They've got 1 down. Sweet Soul continues to bleed out, while 3 up on their feet, trying to hold back on this push.
Yeah, and we saw in that push from Radiance, I believe both were able to maybe steal or at least inflict some damage and have a factor in the fight on the side of Radiance. But coming back into this, though, both going to be right in this little shack. They're going to have 3 alive, 9 kills. The only squad in this new zone. They do still have Rusty all the way down there in the south from the Red Canids, but really, I mean, I made mention of it in this game. Oath, they've been able to just maintain their points, stay in that first place position, but they really haven't had an explosive game. This could be the game. Sandhawk could be that deciding factor that kind of revs them up here once again, as we see them 10 kills so far, and they're not looking to slow down yet as far.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the scary thought, right? So they've been holding on to that first place position, but if they get games like this and they're able to pick up that kind of snowball momentum, well, looking towards week number 3 to try to overtake them if it was your goal this week. Oath, though, continues on, and now they got a dominant hold on what will ultimately be the final collapse after phase 8 is done with its blue zone shrink. 303 going to be maintaining on the far western side. Big Molly going to be coming in. Burn, baby, burn. Silers is going to be there. He is. He's on fire. Yeah, he's stuck. He's stuck. He's going down.
Wow.
There's 303 out and eliminated. Red Canids from the Cave Hill are able to stay alive into a 2nd place position, claim some kill points in the process. Possibly 2nd place finish, but 1st place is actually going to be on their sights. They almost had Snakers dead to right. Spray down comes in huge, but it's not going to be enough, and possibly a point deny coming in for the members of both to take down a 22-point chicken dinner, their first win of the day, Dave, and much needed points as teams started to get close to them on the leaderboards.
So many Molly plays this Sandhawk map. I mean, so many players burnt to death there. You love to see it. I mean, Red Canid, 2nd place, though, definitely much needed placement points. 303 have been consistent here throughout week number 2. Also really good. They're able to get so many points, but Oath, this chicken dinner could be exactly what they needed to make sure that they secure themselves in that first place position at the end of week number 2. And we still got 2 more maps to go. That's going to be Miramar. But before we get to that, I believe we're going to have an interview here soon. I'm not sure exactly with who from Oath, but my goodness, I mean,
should I roast Rip?
Oh,
we're good.
Wolf. Hey, Wolf, how's it going?
It's going, man.
Man, so your squad came in to week number 2, 1st place on the overall leaderboard. All right. First 3 games, though, I mean, you guys were kind of consistent with, staying up there in that 1st place, but really no explosive matches. Like, you guys, at least from my perspective, just maintaining pretty much. What was the difference in this Sandhawk map that kind of set you guys apart, that kind of helped spark that real Oath fire?
I don't know. Honestly, we're just trolling and we're running around trying to kill people because we don't really care right now. So we're just trying to get as many kills as possible and having a good time. Literally laughing nonstop the entire game. And we're just having fun.
Hey, well, maybe that's the way to keep playing, because you guys certainly are picking up the momentum as you pick up that mentality. But good job, Wolf, on the game. Is that the plan for the remainder of the day? Just keep up that have fun mentality, that kind of no F's given, and keep fragging out.
Yeah, honestly, I think all of us just want to play well right now and hop on Valorant as soon as possible. So that's what we're looking forward to.
Hey, right on, dude. Well, good luck to you guys, man, and the rest of Oath as you continue on throughout the Miramar matches of the day. Always a pleasure to talk to you, man.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
So there you have it. Oath Gaming coming in with that first chicken dinner of the afternoon. Certainly good to see if you're one of the fans of that squad, and certainly interesting to see if they're going to keep up that momentum like Wolf talked about. Dave, that's going to be game number 4 in the books. Miramar back-to-back to close it all out coming up after this break.
my feet off the ground. Let gravity take me up. As beautiful as it's been, it's
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Explosive Sandhawk match from Oath. And, you know, we heard him on the interview. They're coming in these games, having a good old time. They're making sure to frag on out. And to no one's surprise, Relo is going to be sitting up there at the top of the kill leaderboard, 25 kills to their name. Snaker's going to be in 4th place on the kill leaderboard, 17 kills, with Shinboy 17 kills as well. So this squad, all in all, putting up the damage numbers. They got the stats. They got the fragging ability. We got Esquire also with the stats, the fragging ability. My man, Mr. Stan. How's it going?
What's going on, Dave? Hey, Dave, I'm doing good, man, and I hope you are as well. Chat, I hope you guys are doing well also. Big shout out to all of you guys who have thrown some bits our way. All bits do go directly to Mustache Dave and myself to help support us to pay the bills. All subscriptions also go towards our production team. I believe that's correct. If it's not, it is now. So there you have it. Make sure to hit those bits, hit those subscriptions, guys. It all means a lot to us. Thank you so much. But just being here, supporting PUBG esports is the main goal. Let's get it kicked off and popping over to the desert in game number 5, where these 16 teams are going to be looking to try to solidify the leaderboards, at least going into week number 3, Dave. We've already seen throughout the day how some of these teams have fallen from grace and some of them have had the point gaps at least somewhat closed, but Oath, with that big victory in the previous match, is definitely trying to reestablish that lead that they came into this week with. Will game number 5 be the one, though, to do it?
I don't know. I don't know. You know, they might just be having fun, but these other teams are in the lobby, you know, determined to overthrow Oath and maybe spoil their party here. We got Shoot to Kill right hot on their trail. Duel, they've been fragging out here tonight, doing a great job. Sonics, I mean, 303 Esports as well. You have a lot of teams just hot on the trail of Oath. And, you know, Oath with that explosive chicken dinner, yes, they were able to get that point gap once again that we did see coming into today. But, I mean, their mentality is just to have a good time. Other squads, though, their mentality is to maybe overthrow Oath. So, you know, they're definitely being chased down when it comes to the overall leaderboard. So we'll see. We got 2 more maps to go. Miramar is going to be the name of the game back here on the desert, as we are going to have our players dropping on in. And Houston Hardships already trying to get some shots out here on Team Bliss.
All the way down in Los Leones, the Red Canids and Team Bliss going to be in the thick of things. The parachuting phase, it's all going to be popping off early on here. Lead going to be flung in the air as the Red Canids just trying to get a little bit of separation. But the question is, Dave, if they try to get separation down to the south, they run into the members of Team Bliss. If they go up towards the north, they possibly could risk running into metagaming. And with phase number 1 going to be trending all the way to the northeastern side of Miramar to kick this game off, well, they're going to have to make those rotations. So the south, very congested from the get-go.
Yeah, I mean, Los Leones, we got, what, 3 teams, maybe even 4 squads kind of in that general area. We have no teams west of circle number 1, which is, you know, free and clear. I mean, there's lots of loot. There's lots of room to rotate on over there. So maybe if some of these teams that are on top of each other in Los Leones kind of recognize that from the flight plan and seeing where all the parachutes go, maybe they'll utilize the west to maybe wrap around somewhere in there, maybe near water treatment if they were lucky. But besides that, you know, Oath, they're gonna be right smack in the middle of this circle pretty much. And I don't really see any other fights popping off besides maybe Los Leones here. So sit back, relax, eat your popcorn, eat your hot dogs with ketchup, and let's just get into this Miramar match. I mean, Esquire, I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready too. I mean, Dave, yeah, you pretty much hit it right on the head with that one. It's going to be one of the more tame early games that we've seen so far tonight by virtue of these teams kind of finding a little bit more spread territory to work with here on the northern side of things. The congestion really is still going to be focused down on the southern border of phase number 1, where you still have the Houston Hardships looting up inside of Los Leones. The members of Metagaming trying to find at least a way to rotate up a few hundred meters or so, maybe even a kilometer, to secure a more dominant position inside of phase number 1. But for the most part, things shaping up to be a pretty mild early game. Things, though, with a mild early game tends to ramp up, you know, by virtue of so many teams not seeing any losses, any deficiencies really as they continue forward through the mid to late.
And with that being said, let us know in the chat as well. Like, I know a lot of people are really enjoying those live team comms. Let us know in the chat who you would want us to check in with. You know, who's your favorite squads? Who maybe we haven't heard from here today. I mean, we're definitely not trying to neglect anybody. There are 16 squads, so you know sometimes things get a little hectic. But let us know in the chat who you want to listen to. We'll make sure to get that on over to your way so you can enjoy it. Livid Gaming are going to be making a pull up over here into these warehouses. Shoot to kill, not too far from them in the general area, but it looks like Luke 12 is going to be just running across the desert fields, trying to avoid this. Potentially, hearing those vehicles, maybe even seeing those vehicles, making a pull up and, making the right call, in my opinion, to pull off this one. I mean, 16 squads alive here. You definitely don't want to be called out this early in a unfavorable position when it comes to the numbers advantage.
Pretty Curdy going to be rotating right now in the bus, in the van, as he at least approaches and is approached by some of the members of Singularity. Sees them in the distance. Kodak activity very closely now, taking some shots by one of the members of STK and disable him across the wide open hill face that they're not going to be able to drive up, pretty much treating it as a half pipe. It's not a skate park, it's Miramar, one of the notoriously difficult maps to drive across to make these rotations, and Luke definitely going to be feeling the hurt right now from all of the bullets that his Bronco is absorbing. Drop down to 20% HP. The vehicle itself is about 15% HP. It's on fire. It's about to go up in flames, but Luke is able to escape somehow with a slight rock to hide behind. Dave, this is probably the least ideal position that you want to be in the game until the support comes in. Shots from a distance trying to give Luke whatever support he can get to send Singularity continuing forward, and it looks like, at least for now, it's possibly working. Yeah,
it's working. I'm actually surprised. I'm not actually sure why Luke popped that smoke. Maybe they were exposed, because I thought they were safe behind that rock for the time being, but it does look like Uncivil is trying to provide that support. Will be tagged out in the process. Luke's trying to get the revenge play, finally popping out some tires and getting some damage out there on their enemies. Luke 12 has his rock, but no clear path to having that protection. As SNG, they knew they were out there. I mean, they blew up that vehicle. They saw it roll back down, and Luke 12 thirsted by Caden from Livid Gaming. So the kill was yoinked, as some would say, Esquire. And you know what? Shoot the kill. They still have a long way to go. Hopefully they don't let that one play a factor. Things could definitely change as we do check in with other squads in their vehicles, making some rotates, looking for a slice of the dream themselves here on this map. I mean, there's just so much to work with, and you never know who you'll run into on Miramar with all the different mountains and defilades. You just never know.
You never know. Radiant's going to be atop the hillside on their own compound, spotting out a few of the members of 303 Esports. They took some shots at Sophia and their teammate off to the eastern flank where Radiance currently holds, and then Silers and Sophia were able to pull off of that. So in a 2-2 split, a very far 2-2 split with D-Rich and Pentalol down to the far south, but everyone's starting to at least shore up a more priority position towards the center areas of phase number 1. Dave, as the game started out, when phase 1 popped, it was looking pretty, at least free and clear for teams to have a bit of a buffer zone, but that has quickly changed now at the 7.5 minute mark, where every team is within about 200 to 300 meters of another squad, definitely within striking distance of each of these 16 teams.
And welcome back, everybody. If you took a little water break, we're back in the game. Big shout out to Mama T Rich, 1,000 bits, and we got Phil Kit, 100 bits. I mean, thanks for all the support. We appreciate you taking the time to, relax and just watch some good old-fashioned PUBG on your weekends here on lockdown, of course. Hopefully everyone's staying healthy out there and they have the appropriate amount of toilet paper. Getting back on into this game, though. Houston hard shifts. Do they know one of the members from Sonic's Mime are right on over this ledge?
Well, if they don't know, they will know soon. But the way that Mime is approaching, it looks like Maluk doesn't see him, but does get the spot on the head of Mime. And as both quickly realize that this isn't exactly where they want to be, they start to retreat. Mime, though, in the direction around La Bandita, towards some of the members of Metagaming. The Sonics need to be very careful here. I don't think they were necessarily happy with how that Erangel game in the swamp played out. They want to try to find another opportunity in these matches to possibly clutch that first place, possibly start to really stack up these points on the leaderboards, but it's just not yet. I'm going to be able to fully disengage now, wrapping around the northern side of La Vendita towards Mina. It's going to be sent by the shots directly into Metagaming. Not where he wanted to be. It's only going to be more difficult from here on.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely looking to make the comeback. I mean, they got mollied to death. They had the compound. I was really favoring them, and didn't work out for them. Looking around, though, next circle is on up. We still have a lot of teams down there in the south with really nowhere safe to go. I don't know how they're going to make their way on into the circle. Metagaming playing that gatekeeper out there. They will not be favored, but they have a nice position to potentially take some shots onto Houston Hardships and maybe even Sonics if they opt to use this street to make their way on in. But Radiance and Meta, the Magnets, the long lost lovers, I mean, they need to get a room after tonight, because every single time we look at these squads, they're right on top of one another, Esquire.
Yeah, I mean, this is totally an unintentional rivalry that is developing in front of our eyes right here, and you love to see it, kind of. I mean, I don't know how it keeps happening, but their loot spots just kind of conveniently for the viewers provide similar rotation points, and hey, that's great. It provides beautiful storylines for us to watch. But it's going to be Radiance really focused down towards the south, onto the members of the Houston Hardships, and keeping them outside of this phase 2 circle. Metagaming continues to push closer and closer towards the center parts of this zone as they try to at least strengthen their own positioning here at the 10-minute mark of the match. Other teams, though, not going to be so lucky. They're very much so entwined with each other, at least a little bit up towards the north. Livid going to be pinched in between Atletico and Duel, and then they still have the members of Ferox up towards the north of them. So they've got to hold this compound as strongly as possible, already deployed into essentially a 4-corner strat for this area of the map to try to hold the perimeter.
Yeah, and you know what, Miramar kind of it allows us to see the different strategies from the different squads as well, because you got Livid over here. They're near each other, but they are so spread apart. Like, if one of them was to get knocked or revived, it might be a little risky and might not even be able to happen. Meanwhile, we got teams like Duel alive, all in one compound, all on top of one another, just waiting it out for the next zone. So it's very interesting to see like the different strategies and play styles from our squads here. And on Miramar, I feel like it shows even more.
Atletico, Flood trying to crawl to safety, trying to get far and far away from any lines of sight that could flush him out of the game, while Zenith rolls up and finds their kill point. Going to be stacking that in their pocket as they continue on throughout this game. Holdless able to claim that one. Still have the majority of our players alive, though. Majority of our teams, hell, all 16 teams exact. That's quickly going to be changed. Zenith rather is going to be caught in that exposed position on the hillside by none other than Team Bliss, coming off the eastern edge of this phase 2 circle. Blue Zone still going to be working its way in. So this is Zenith really, or rather Team Bliss really trying to open up something for them to work with on the northern side of El Azahar.
I mean, it is just non-stop chaos out here. And Zenith Esports right on top of each other, trying to get Roth up, but shots are ringing out here into the smoke. They got about 3 smokes out here. Look at all these tracers. Look at all these tracers. Team Bliss, they do not want to let this one slide, but it looks like Zenith were able to avoid the danger from across the way. And you know what? If you are on the side of Team Bliss, you used probably 100 bullets right there. I mean, that's what feels bad.
That feels bad. Down to the southeast is another feels bad. 303 is going to be maybe losing a member here very quickly, as D-Rich is getting swarmed by the members of the Houston Hardships. Pentalol going to be knocked down in the process as D-Rich's house is being breached right now. Through the windows come Maluk and the rest of the Hardships, and up the stairwell very shortly, taking this very slow and low as J-Sank and Maluk clear the corners.
Slow and low is exactly what you need to do here. If you are D-Rich, though, hopefully you're prepared as the push is coming on out. Going to be tossing another smoke to make sure that they don't easily breach this doorway. Listening on in, D-Rich walked out for a moment. I saw one of the members from Houston Hardships bolted out one of the windows here.
Ooh.
We see mollies going on right now. What is happening? The tables seem to be upturned.
I mean, Dave, we got 2 members of the Houston Hardships with sub maybe 30% HP from their own friendly Molotov. This is playing out in D-Rich's favor, and all he has to do is just sit back and let the hardships pretty much at this stage in the game destroy themselves. But there it is, a beautiful nade coming in from the long-term veteran, at least for this roster of the hardships. Lobes, huge nade coming in, very impactful nade to wipe out the member of 303 in this area. That bit of a distraction, at least from D-Rich, was able to at least provide a window of opportunity for Pentalol to get rezzed and now continue on for 303, but now they're going to be under fire also. Radiance pounding shots in this direction as a lone Murado goes flying off into the distance from the members of Team Bliss. 14 minutes, though, into the game, and we've still only lost 5 players, Dave. The boiling point is rapidly approaching here on Miramar, and I'm excited to see where it's going to happen and which teams, yes, multiple teams, are going to be involved.
Yeah. I mean, Team Bliss just pulling up the gas station, making sure to fill up on their Twinkies and Doritos and Mountain Dew, and just set up for the late game over here. Radiance, though, 4 alive, doing really well. 1 kill so far. I feel like their last match on Standoff was really that switcherino that they needed for that team mentality, because they had a rough kind of start to tonight, but the teamwork definitely seems to be coming a little more together. Effective as we're going to be seeing the pull-up, the pop-offs, Houston hardships on the defense right now.
On the defense, Radiance very much so on the offense. This is the team that, remember, is trying to stack points on points on points. And Aguila and Nerf are working as a duo right now on the front lines of this engagement to try to achieve that goal. Trades, though, back and forth as the Houston hardships. Maluk, the newest member to this roster, I believe replacing Fignaldo on this lineup, is going to be trying to make a last stand to keep that part of the team alive. Across the map, though, to the far western side of things, teams like Red Canids across the wide open are trying to stay alive as well. Shots from the north, from the Sonics, are definitely putting them in a difficult position to work off. The Bronco on fire avoids explosion damage, but the Red Canids are going to be disabled now in a very exposed hillside. Teams dropping like flies. I believe the hardships have been our first team to be eliminated in 16th place.
But we still have 15 squads remaining still. It's actually
wild.
Circle number 4, Sonics out here 4 alive. I mean, these squads are gonna just be on top of one another. Checking out the mini map for just a moment. We got SNG with a 2-2 split. They're gonna be right in the middle. They're probably looking to regroup up, as other squads are probably gonna opt to push at least one of their locations. You don't want to be too greedy right now. As we mentioned, 15 teams alive, 16 minutes in this match. Miramar, things are definitely heating up here, Esquire.
303, maybe going to be seeing some more action here on the far eastern side, outside of the next zone. Blue zone soon to be on their back, and the members of Zenith are rolling right past the face of Sophia, who has to make the decision. Will they be able to take a shot? Will they be able to find the spray down, or will they just let them be the bodyguards to clear out the way in front of them and ride the wake in? That seems to at least be the choice of play for Sophia. The smart choice, I believe, as we roll in now. Blue zone, phase number 4, pushing in, teams fighting all over the place, now specifically over towards the northern side.
Very smart for Sophia from 303. I mean, they've been really good tonight. They've been really good here tonight. But let's go listen on in. We got some more comms. Let's check it out.
Come road with me. Come road side. We should clear road instead, guys. We can't fight that.
Yeah, okay, we need to. We're getting shot in the back the entire time.
Yeah. You can smoke over to me.
Go right here. Go blue. Go blue.
They're already above you on the tree. Yeah, they're already above you guys. You guys need to get into the road.
There's a soul in front of us. Come here. Come with me.
Yeah. Wait up, Shrimps.
No one in bull right here.
Alive.
It could be south of us. I'm gonna nade him. I'm gonna nade that south ridge.
There's bushes right there.
South. Peek that ridge.
Is he on the tree? Just molly the tree and look north. Crossing the street on the car.
That's him.
That's him. Yeah, I see him. He's prone.
This guy's north of you.
They're fighting. Hold the car guy.
I'm getting an angle on him.
They're above you probably, so you're north too.
I got him.
Nice.
Cover north, third party.
Oh, there's a guy.
Other teammates.
Prof, stay alive. I'll push those guys too. Do I need to push them?
They're shooting the west guys.
Let's push them.
Should we peek these guys?
These guys, you can.
They're not together.
I can't peek yet. I can't peek yet with you. We're getting shot in the back.
Go more north. This is bad. This is bad here.
I'm about to kill him. Come up, come up, come up. I'm about to kill him.
We can't really. We're so.
They're both down. Come up.
Bro.
You should full commit, H1.
Full
We're
commit
full
to
committing. We're full committing.
The other two are compound. Other two are compound.
You guys should control warehouse.
West is peeking. West is
Five,
peeking.
West.
Yeah, control
West is
west, control west. Get back to the road. Get down, get down. H1, there's another guy. Get down, get down, get down, get down.
I knocked Willie. Knocked Willie West.
Right side.
We should push that. We should push that.
Mark mine.
He's orange. He's in the div. In the divot. In the divot. There's people on the further north. They should be in the divot too.
What's on?
Nice. Nice. I'm in a res.
Profi, cover above. I flushed my downs.
Yeah, I'm covering above.
Look, we need to kill East now. Listen to my call.
Good look into the comms of the members of the Sonics. I mean, Dave, you love to hear the confidence coming out from H-Win right there.
Yeah.
He was able to find that double spray down transfer, and you just heard Shrimsy go, okay. Didn't
good.
expect that at all.
Yeah, it was actually good. I mean, 4 kills so far from H-Win to themselves. I mean, actually popping off there. Hopefully they'll be able to get the revive. Such a key player from the squad. Oh no, the grenade. Oh. No,
Yeah,
though,
hate
that's
to see
200 IQ. 200 IQ though. Point to now. Sonics though, not done yet as far. Not done. They got H1 up.
Not done yet. Still have 3 members alive now to deal with the members of STK that were trying to push over and gatekeep them. Down goes Purdy Curdy as well, leaving now Alo, the solo player, to ride the hillside and wait for the 3 members of the Sonics to approach. And approach they will very quickly, and the smoke of the vehicle will be a dead giveaway as to the positioning of the lone threat, the shoot-to-kill squad. Alo prepping up, getting the boost rolling for the impending battle. Pushing over the hill right now. Head going to be spotted out, but Alo gets his back spotted in the process. Tagged down to 13% HP. 1 first aid in the dream is pretty much all he can have at that stage in the game, and a combo shot between H-Win and his teammates are going to be enough to take out the last member of STK. Down they go, 10th place. The top 10 have been breached. 19th continue on, and it's possibly going to be Oath's time around to start kicking things up. That momentum Wolf was talking about.
Yep, you could say a pending death is what they were preparing for as well. So, got a lot of fans in the chat. SNG, yes, they are playing. They have just been low-key chilling in a compound, and they're going to be smiling right now because they got 4 alive. 1 of 2 compounds in this circle they're going to be occupying. So all they need to do is defend it right now, and we're going to have wild card on the opposite end of the circle in the other compound. With Kodak, he's taking shots on the Zenith over here. Zenith trying to crest on over that hill. If you are SNG, you don't want to expose yourselves too much here. You have the advantage when it comes to hard cover. I understand they want to try to get as many kills as possible, but you also don't want to lose your helmet. You don't want to lose your armor. You want to come into late game stacked and ready to go.
Stacked and ready to go. Zenith still staying alive as the Sonics will finally be eliminated. Profi, the final kill coming in from Kodak of Singularity to claim that squad elimination. But Oldless and the other 2 remaining members of Zenith with almost double-digit kills here. Past the 20-minute mark into the late game we go. They look to continue on. Will they get favored? Nope. It's going to be a hard shift down to the far south. They will have to transition. 1 member of Radiance McCoy, as well as the members of Metagaming, they will have to cross past. Now, Dave, it's not going to be changing no matter what map, no matter what stage of the game. Radiance and Metagaming are still going to be right next to each other. The solo player McCoy just riding the northern border where Meta is currently holding on to. Both going to be popping off along the southern bend of the circle, trying to at least keep every other team from positioning dead center.
Yeah, I mean, O still with 4 alive down there in the south. Going to just be making sure to clear the edges of these circles, make sure no one wraps around them. But let's go check on in with SNG to see how they plan to wrap this one.
Dos tumbados, derecha.
Shoot to kill, chicos, derecha. Están en 3 chicos.
Le queda
3 chicos, queda uno solo que está en una piedra.
Lo voy a pushar, pues. Me arriesgo.
Ayúdalo, chicos.
Me estoy curando, no tengo kit.
Yo no me puedo mover de acá.
Déjalo, dame. Está pinchada, a la derecha, en la piedra, está come. Atrás tuyo.
No, pero tengo uno acá abajo que están solos. Uno arriba y uno abajo. Uno al lado mío, abajo. Están
Choco con el auto para atrás, por detrás.
Rematé.
A mi derecha hay uno. Ahí abajo, es uno solo. Es de otro equipo, creo.
Che, me dejaron sin autos, boludo.
La combi.
Está pinchada
No,
la
está
atrás. Ok.
Aprovecha a correr, quick. Corre con timing. Antes que te
Sí, sí,
piquen.
tranqui, me estoy gusteando, tranqui, tranqui.
Pero no sirve nada, tiene todas repinchadas, compi. ¿Qué vas?
No, tiene
No,
una.
no sirve, no sirve, no sirve, no sirve, no sirve. No sirve.
Todas repinchadas.
No, es worth. Va a salir muy lento y me van a ver los chavos.
Tiene uno, Kodak, de los que te disparaba.
¿De la roca?
Piedra. Sí, sí. Hay otro más en el smoke. Corriendo. Lleva
Le pueden moquear una smoke a Quick.
Murió. Me abre por
Chico,
izquierda.
necesito ayuda, ¿ah?
Quick, abrite, mostrate para los de izquierda. Porque los de derecha te van a focusar mucho.
¿No le tiran a Quick?
Sí. ¿Humo no me pueden tirar?
Tengo dos regalados allí.
Nice.
No puedo rematarme, que es sin bala.
Derecha, ahí
Tengo
en la
dos
ayuda
regalados ahí.
derecha.
Kodak, remátalo, por favor. Arriba.
¿Dónde? Marca.
Acá. La MK está sonando ahí. La línea.
No lo veo.
Estoy tratando de buscarlo, pero no lo encuentro.
Me tapa el humo.
Apuntale, Harald. A ver, ¿dónde? ¿La smoke esa?
Chicos, ojo a su derecha. Me están pushando, me están tirando estos. Acá derecha.
Peguémonos derecha, Kodak. Entra full acá primero.
Lo veo en el árbol. No están pushando, están holdeando desde el árbol nomás, chicos.
Árbol de izquierda, Quick.
¿Ese?
Sí, termina en
¿Te
una
pegó
pelea,
uno?
man.
¿Otro más?
Estoy viendo.
Vaqueo.
Vaquea, Quick. Tenemos zona, vaquea. Te estoy cubriendo, dale. Vaquea, Quick.
Si pueden, traten de terminar alguna pelea. Los tres
No,
juntos.
tenemos que holdear acá.
Tenemos que pegar, después tenemos que pegar.
And just like that, SNG gearing up to give themselves the chicken dinner. 4 squads remaining, but Oath trying to stall them for the time being. Oath going to be up here on the high ground. It looks like Wildcard going to be trying to make the breach on Oath. More mollies out. Tiggleton, the last remaining member right now for Wildcard, trying to survive. Was getting third party just a second ago. Boomer going to be bleeding on out here. If you are Tiggleton, do you go for placements or do you just send it on over that ridge and try to get a kill, some points, a thirst? I don't know. It's going to be a 1v4 as far. It's going to be extremely dangerous. Here comes the flash right now, though. Where's it going?
We will see. If he goes over down to the south, he's going to be going into a 4-stack of Oath. If he goes up towards the north, a 3-stack of Singularity. I mean, any way that Tiggleton's going to move, he is going to be absolutely destroyed because of it. If he stays still, though, possibly he can force the engagement over atop his head between Oath and Singularity. We'll see if Metagaming is going to show their hand as well as the blue zone closes in now on phase number 7. A bit of a standstill right now. Everyone trying to get the beads, and there it is. Sparking has been able to find the Mini 14 headshot. Down goes Senor Napoleon, the first member of Singularity to drop in this late game engagement. Now going to be flushed out of the game as well. Singularity drops down from their numbers now with a 2-man alive. It's 2v2 for the 2 Latin American teams, and then 1 4-stack for Oath, and a solo player for Wildcard. Make up our 4 remaining squads.
Unfortunate for Tiggleton. It does look like SNG are opting to take this fight onto Oath, and Tiggleton might be spotted in the process. Going to be just proning in the dirt. That snake right now in the rocks as grenades are just whizzing past their head right here. Quick EMP and Kodak trying to get the confirmed and reload with a great grenade.
Big time right there on top of quick EMP. Kodak now Singularity alive. 30 HP in a dream, but he's able to find the spray down. Wolf, the IGL of this Oath squad, will be dropped. This brings them on their feet, having to quickly decide what to do here. Reload taking significant damage, dropped down to about 50% HP. Kodak is on the prowl, knows he's got a few seconds to act here to try to get his fallen teammate. Quick EMP back up and on their feet. Wildcard goes down and out. Tiggleton able to drop down and flush Wolf in the process and get a knockdown onto Snaker. So a very disabled Oath squad is possibly going to be contested by Singularity. Right now, without the res, it's the 2v2v2 across the map. If Oath is able to pick up the res, they will have the numbers advantage, but will it be enough with the other squad of Meta still going to be overwatching this area from the high ground?
Yeah, and here comes the wraparound right now. Kodak and Quick trying to utilize the smokes that are still over there on the edge of the blue zone behind. Snaker's going to be holding this off angle, making sure they don't get backstabbed. Here comes Kodak getting ready to crest on over to this rock, and Snakers will be spotting out. Kodak going to be taking them down in and out. Quick, the last remaining member for SNG right now, rethinking the strategy. Meanwhile, Meta on the into this, taking some shots, trying to get some kills, trying to third party this, and now we got a girl match 3v2. Esquire, make that 3v1.
I mean, listen, Meta, I think they were just too quiet over here on the eastern side of things, Dave. They had the hillside position to work off of, and when Oath was at their weakest point, their most vulnerable point, when they had one flush on a Wolf and then a knock on the Snakers, no one capitalized. And now Meta finds themselves in a 1v3 scenario. Snakers has been rezzed, and Oath look to take this game back-to-back. Chicken dinner secured here, and 22 points to boot. It's a hell of a way to continue on, and like Wolf said, Dave, I mean, you just play like you're having fun, like you don't really care, and things are working for them. So keep doing it, and you are going to find yourselves massively atop the leaderboards, more so than they already are.
Yep, I mean, another chicken dinner right there. Nice kills to go with it. Yeah, they're definitely making sure that they have a nice point gap between them and everybody else in the lobby. Something that they came into today, into week 2 having. They're going to try to end off week 2 and make sure to come into week 3 having. So I think they might just be playing coy. You know, they're like, oh yeah, we're just having. No, I think they're trying, man. I think they're trying hard, but they're just making sure people don't catch on to their nonchalant, you know, strategies. Like, oh, don't watch us. Yeah, don't pay attention to us. We're just fragging, having a good time. Really,
Dave.
they're coming in with the strategy.
Well, I mean, who better to give us some insight on that than the boy Snakers from Oath himself. Snakers, congratulations on a back-to-back chicken dinner.
Thank you, thank you.
So talk to us. I mean, was it what Wolf said? I mean, obviously you know what he said. He said pretty much y'all are just playing to have fun, and that was how you won the game on Sandhawk. Is that the trend here in game number 5?
Yeah, we pretty much just vibed out that game, but we got fed a bunch of times south, and we just played out of our rocks, and it was pretty free. We were just farming. And, you know, I just turned 18 today, so I decided we had to frag out, so...
Hey, it's your birthday?
That's what we did. Yep.
Happy birthday.
Thanks,
Oh,
dude.
man.
I can
Happy
finally play
birthday.
PUBG, but too bad there's nothing to play.
And not
you
yet.
can play,
That's
though.
big,
You
though.
can play. That's what matters. You can
That's
finally
big, dude.
play.
I can play PGS in 6 months.
Oh, you got
Oh, wow.
balloons on your Twitter and everything. Guys,
Oh,
go on
shit.
over to @Snakers with 2 R's at the end and wish him a happy birthday.
Happy birthday. I mean, you've been fragging out today too. I mean, we saw you a couple times on the live stream, like making some quick flicks, like you were getting approached from behind and then quickly, you know, just spraying and getting the kill. So, I mean, are you just like jacked out of your mind on your birthday, or is this just a Snakers regular thing?
Well, I've been playing a lot of Valorant, so it gave me faster reaction time, so, you know, that's probably part of it. But I can't really control recoil in this game yet, so...
Hey, well, there
I
you go.
whipped 2 times, but it doesn't matter. I flicked.
Dude, that's so awesome. You're fragging out on your birthday. 2 back-to-back wins. Try to make
Yep.
it maybe 3
We're gonna get a
back-to-back.
third.
All right, there you
Make it
have it,
3.
guys.
Make it 3.
Hey, Snakers, thanks for the interview, dude, and good luck to you guys in the final game of
Thank
the
you.
day. And happy birthday, man. Have a good evening after
Happy
you guys
birthday.
finish up.
Yep, we'll get that 60-point lead for everyone.
Let's get it. All right, guys, that's game. Oh, all right. That's game number 5 in the books, guys. We've got one more game on the afternoon here for week number 2 of the 303 Royale Pro League Season 2 for the Americas, Latin America, OCE, and North America, all fighting it out here in the final game of Miramar. Coming up just after this break.
Lift my feet off the ground, let gravity take me up. As beautiful as it's been, it's time for me to go. I wanna sail away, I wanna feel the weightlessness of my soul. I've gotta go all the way to eternity. I will run all the way to see you. I've gotta go all the way through time and space if I'm ever to see you. And I'll go.
Final game of week number 2 here for the 303 Royale Pro League Americas Season 2. My name's Esquire, joined by none other than Mustache Dave. To close out the evening, Dave, game number 6 is about to pop off, but let's quick recap what has happened today and how the scores have shaped up.
Just to recap, Oath, they came into today first place. Currently, Oath coming into the final game of week number 2, first place. Shoot to Kill, second place Sonics, third place Duel, fourth place Metagaming, fifth place 303, sixth place. So some movers and shakers when it comes to today so far has definitely been Metagaming and 303. They started today on, you know, the right side of the leaderboard. They were like in 13th, 14th place or whatnot. They made some good jumps, some really nice plays, and they should be proud of themselves. One more game to go though, Esquire, so it's definitely not over yet. Team Bliss, they had a pretty solid game here tonight as well. SNG almost having a really good game there, but you know what, they got one more game to go. Miramar seems to be their favorite map here, so we'll see what they can pull off here.
We shall see. One thing we're also seeing is the flight path across Miramar, pretty much dissecting the desert in half. Going to be a fair flight to close out the afternoon / beginning of the evening. I think, Dave, this is going to be the best things that these teams could have at least hoped for. We'll wait until phase number 1 pops to confirm that, but at least as it stands in the first minute of the game, teams are going to be looking forward to these drops. Purdy Curdy, though, amongst the members of Singularity, I don't know if any of the other members of STK are going to be nearby to provide immediate support, so this might all come down to Purdy taking the 1v1 off to the northeast of his team. Quickly going to be picking up the Scar, and now getting ready to engage on to, it's going to be Poem, the nearest Singularity member.
Nice little 1v1 here to start off the last match of the day. It really comes down to who can grab that gun first, who can get that armor first, and so far Poem with a helmet. I didn't see any gear when it comes to the side of Purdy Curdy. So Purdy has a vest, Poem has a helmet. I believe both players have a Scar, so we're gonna have a duel happening out here. A quick draw McGraw in the desert. Possible.
So I think Purdy's got the Scar, yeah, and he was able to find the Hollow, which is big because he only had iron sights, but I think Poem had the M416. So I was betting on Poem at first if they engaged on one another, but now that they've got the kits, you know, it kind of evens out. It's anyone's game at this stage, but it looks like both players are not going to aggressively push towards each other. It's not going to be that chaotic fuss in the final game of the week, because hey, STK and both Singularity, Dave, they got points to stack up, and these risky engagements certainly don't lend themselves to longevity inside of these matches.
Yeah, I mean, you say it, but I'm looking over here. Both these players, they're definitely aware of one another.
They want some.
Yeah, they
want to get some.
They want to get some.
And open comms, get some
here.
Well, we shall see how this continues to develop, because not much is happening around the rest of the map. Phase number 1 has popped, and it will be taking us down to the southern half of Miramar for this game. Some teams up towards the north will have to make those rotations, but here comes the support rolling in for Purdy Curdy. A 1v1. No. Uncivil says, let's take these kill points and let's roll with them, as they now have 2 in the compound to support. Poem under fire, going to be taking 1 shot of damage already with the VSS. Purdy Curdy is going to be trying to beat that mosquito bite in the backside of Poem, because that's pretty much all these 9mm shots do, but they will kill you if you land enough.
Yeah, Uncivil tossing out a nice little grenade right there. Approaching ever so closer to Poem. Poem seems to be pinned down for the time being. We see Quick trying to come out in the mini-map as well and make this an even 2v2. Poem now tossing out smokes, trying to confuse their enemies, and Uncivil right on top of Poem. Uncivil's not aware of Poem, and Poem! We take down Uncivil just like that. The 1v1 back in full effect, Esquire.
Poem says, get out of here, dude. You're cheating, man. This is a 1v1, a gentleman's match here, and now he has leveled the odds back in favor. We'll see, though, if Purdy Curdy can get some revenge. He's trying to line it up, but little does he know, he is absolutely surrounded. He is being toyed with right now. These are lions just pretty much playing around with their food, and down goes Purdy finally. Quick shot going to be coming in from the spray of the M416 of Quick ENP.
Oh! He threw the pan. He did.
And he threw the pan. He did.
Hey, Carol Pep. So looking around, man, the 1v1, the 1v1. You love to see it. SNG fans cheering in the chat. They're like, ah, I can hear them. I can hear them from here. I mean, what does Shoot to Kill do? I mean, the last two remaining members, I don't know. I know it's the last game of the day, but they're in second place. I mean, they've been making the come up here tonight.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
like, they're only 1 point ahead of both third and fourth place.
So caveat that with the fact though that Shoot to Kill historically has been a team when they are too down big, they can still come up with pretty significant points. So we'll see what they can do. But around the rest of the map, shots are now starting to pop off. The engagements are starting to light up the kill feed, and it's none other than Red Canids and Livid engaged in a bit of a trade-off now. Both teams losing members left and right, but the Red Canids have been able to keep one man up, at least the advantage over the likes of Livid. Now the Soup and Microfry, previously of the Rumblers, would be trying to make a stand here.
Yeah, so same thing with Caden. Both of them used to be on the Rumblers, right?
I don't know. Did Caden used to be a Rumbler?
I made a mistake. I'm talking Team Dave. All right.
That was back. That was phase 1, Dave. He was the team Mustache Daver.
All right.
I don't think the Rumblers have the correct branding to be called Mustache Dave. Not anymore.
Moving forward, Microfry trying to take some shots with the AKM will be connected on in return by Kill Demo from the Red Canids. Red Canids trying to get some points, and as we said in the previous fight, Esquire, they're trying to get some.
Houston Hardships trying to avoid getting some. Maluk taking down very low, going to be sitting with around 25% HP, able to pull back behind some Defilade and avoid the shots coming in from Team Bliss, representing the OCE region across the roadside. The squad will be looking his direction, and it looks like Maluk really has no one in sight to provide that much needed support as the Sonics now start to approach as well. Los Leones' western border, at least the outskirts of this city, is getting very crowded. And between it and Chumacera, team's going to be littered across this area as we continue to approach the early to mid-game transition coming up in a few minutes.
Yeah, I mean, we've already lost a couple players too. I mean, this is always the story of the final games. It's like there's always these early engagements because players, you know, they might be a little fatigued. Their mentalities might be a little up in the air because they've been playing PUBG all day long. So they might make some slip-ups and some mistakes or just try to go out with a bang here tonight. Meanwhile, we see other teams trying hard down there in the south. We got couple teams rotating on in here. Yep, they'll be doing a good job flipping their vehicles, but really, I mean, 15 teams alive, Esquire. It's anyone's game here. Yeah, what happened to this? We saw
mistakes were made. That's really all you can say. When you see a vehicle like that, Radiant's still going to be holding on the northern side of the Los Higos bridge as they make that wide, or rather, yeah, the eastern side of the bridge. As shots now start to pop up. Picado's northern side going to be lighting up. Google's Cherry FPS, the rebrand coming in hot for this player. Going to be spotting out those lone 2 members left of Shoot to Kill. Alo under devastating fire, drop down to 13% HP. The Dream through the door is able to get to safety as Luke provides the much needed pressure back towards the members of Duel and finds a knock in the process of doing so. Down goes Michael. Headshot connection with a 7.62 round of the SKS.
actually beautiful. I mean, that was a work of art right there. Cherry probably will be able to either revive. Yep, we see it coming on out. We got the hard cover, but you know what? That's going to be some damage out there from the 2 members left alive from Shoot to Kill. Going to start looting on up here in Picado, but it looks like Duel recognizing that there are some enemies out here. Lampalot having the opportunity to take some shots, doing just that to allow their squad mates to get the safe revive out there. And you know what? We'll see what the 2 members can do from their Picado area here. We see SG out there still making their way on in from the blue. Sonics right smack in the middle. Houston Hardships kind of spread apart by themselves in between Team Bliss. So we have a lot of teams near each other for the time being. Metagaming, one of them, they've been doing really good here tonight. But they're looking for a final game to be explosive, looking for a lot of kills and really good placement points.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Metagaming has been pretty much devoid of kill points tonight. They've been able to rack up those placement points. The scary thing is, if they can rack up the kill points now in combination with placement points, if they can kind of fix that going into week 3, rather, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. Maybe a contender to make it into that top 8 to rotate into the grand finals week. After that, this next circle, though, phase number 2 is absolutely crazy. We're going far, far, far down to the south. And some teams that were already positioned there, much like Radiance and, well, Atletico as well, are going to be very much rewarded for that. Other teams, specifically like the ones we're looking at right now, the Sonics and the Houston Hardshift solo player Maluk, going to be in hot pursuit, trying to bomb down south and center as quickly as possible. Maluk literally doing just that. He's rolling vehicles, he's landing it, nailing it. No style points in the game, but as far as we're concerned, Davis casters, it's good to go.
Yeah, let me get a hard shift. Let's get some hard shifts in the chat right there, because that is one heck of a shift. It's about 50% of it's going to be unoccupied here, and that's kind of why we see kind of the fluster of teams just straight up sending it that YOLO push. They don't have a choice. They don't have a choice. Let's listen into some comms though, as the chaos is starting to erupt.
I don't think we can really help nerf because we're still getting their hard third party. No, we can't really help.
Guy in the ridge. Saw us already.
Yeah, we can sweep left on this guy. I'm a sweep left.
It's gonna be a full team. It's gonna be a full team.
Okay.
Saw us, it's on the ridge.
Yeah.
Yellow. One guy
We're
left.
down on so.
I'm gonna play spoiler outside.
Oh, that's a fucking molly. Oh. Oh, I'm dead. Holy fuck, those things are good.
I can hear if they wrap around.
Okay, I came inside. I'm in the shed.
Okay.
And they're all here. Oh wait.
Oh, we
Okay,
just have
Profi's
balls?
actually stupid. Hi. What the fuck? Okay.
A bit of comedy there from the comms of the squads there in a fight. Dave, what's your take on that?
Pound Fiesta, full on Cheeto hour. I mean, they're like, oh, the Molly's hurt. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I mean, they're good. They're good.
Yeah,
Mollies
Mollies are
are
good.
increasingly getting buff after buff after buff, and yeah, we've seen it tonight, Dave. I mean,
They're
just
good.
from this week alone, they've been very impactful for squads, much more than just maybe one kill or one knock.
I want to say, and this is bold. This is a bold one.
Okay, all
I
right,
think Mollies are better than grenades. That's a bold one.
clip it.
That's
Flip
a
it.
bold one.
You know,
That's a
David.
bold
Yeah,
one.
our production in our ears is like, you know, Dave might be onto something. Chat,
Yeah.
what do you think?
But
One's
still
in chat.
agrees with me. Esquire does not agree with me. But
I did not say what I agree with, but one's in chat if you agree with Dave. One's in chat if you think Molotovs are more powerful than grenades. Two's in chat if you think frag grenades are more powerful than mollies. We'll see what the chat says, Dave.
Three's in chat if you want my fans only page. You know, it's 2020.
Only fans, Dave.
Yeah.
What about your egirl.gg page yet?
Four's in chat. Four's in
All
chat.
right, get out of here, Dave.
I wear a wig.
Phase
I don't
number
care. It's fine.
3 is going to be another hard shift, this time over to the eastern side of that phase 2 hard shift that we had just seen a few minutes ago. Our teams over to the western side of things going to be sent in another quick rotation. Look to that side of things to see some of the chaos unfold. Other teams going to be very happy with where they sit. 303, I think, is going to be one of those squads that they're going to be kicking back for right now, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, 2 back-to-back hard shifts. The first one going down south, the second one going out there to the east. We still have a lot of water still in play here, so it's going to be interesting to see how these teams react to that, as we saw just a second ago on the mini-map. A ton of teams out there in the west, and, you know, a couple of these players are just going to start sending it, you know, that YOLO strat as the last circle, just trying to get any type of compound they can safely on in here. As we just saw, you know, Zenith missing prime opportunity. Battle able to sneak their way on into compound right below them. Sonic's right on top of them. So it is getting hectic out here today for the final match. I mean, you love to see it. You know, it's kind of like the grand finale. You know, you've had all day, you've had the fireworks, but now it's like all the big explosions. You know, but let's listen on the Zenith comms.
I'm in a bad spot. Hold on. I'm coming out. Can I crash back on you guys?
No, you can't. There's 2 guys below us now.
No way, dude. No way that's
There
happening.
could be people northwest or north of us.
Heard.
Careful. They could be just running up on us.
I get on my bike. Bro, this game is so bugged, dude. It's ridiculous. I'm coming high side. I need you guys to get ready to shoot down just in case.
I'm going.
Just got D.
I'm back.
He was outside, by the way. Ola's picking the left side of the house.
Okay.
I'm gonna heal real quick. Nade?
Just get in the building.
Yeah, we just gotta play time. There's no rush here. We know they have someone across on yellow, so we gotta be careful when we peek.
Wow, crazy comms right there. I mean, in depth is actually nuts. I don't know. Hopefully they continue to survive here. SNG though, I really like their positioning. They're a little spread out for me, for my taste, if they want to get that chicken dinner, but they don't really have any enemies near them for the time being. I see Luke 12 down there though, going for a crate, Esquire. Is
He's
this
going for it.
the game-winning play down here?
Hey, I mean,
oh no, there's two people going
Dave.
for the crate.
We're going unconventional right now. Singularity in the boat, going for the crate right now. They're pulling up to it first. Luke was going for the Michael Phelps, trying to swim from the coast to the crate. He spots this out, Dave. What do you do at this stage in the game? Now both players are going to be alerted of each other's presence. The more dangerous being that of Singularity. Home has to know. Come on.
Doesn't know. I mean,
you don't
how
hop into the
would you know?
passenger seat and then dome the guy.
How would you know?
This could have been Pome's ultimate revenge onto the members of STK.
It could have been. It could have been. But like you said, Michael Phelps, you know? Michael Phelps. I mean, the big, broad shoulders. I mean, it's just good. It's just
Let him go. And then up towards the north he goes. So Red Canids up to the far north are going to be on the edge of the previous circle, trying to face off against the blue zone. We'll tune in now with how they're going to hold off the members of Ferox. We don't have comms actually for the Red Canids, so we will go back into the game. Ferox though still going to be trying to push in from that outside position. Going to be caught out. Red Canids end up finding the first one, confirming the touchdown for their fifth kill here of the game. Down goes another Ferox, getting absolutely dismantled as they try to escape the blue zone damage. Right into the damage coming out from the lead of the Red Canids. Going to be coming out. Nikos is able to find one on the RDN. It's going to be one left alive here for the Red Canids. Maybe one now left alive here for the members of Ferox. A 1v1 scenario. Isn't able to spot him out. Isn't able to get the res onto his teammate either. And now both teams will continue on. Both teams trying to escape the blue zone.
Yeah.
With one player alive.
The blue zone right there, the ultimate third party, right? That pressure onto this fight happening on over here. And Kill Demo saying, hey, I'm not going to stick in the blue. I'm just going to try to focus on getting in the zone. Actually going to be the victor off that fight. I mean, that's exactly how you got to play that one off right there. Mystery still holding down their compound here. Trying to get into it better. Will be spotted out in the process. Atletico 4 alive this game. This is their best game yet over here. 2 kills. They are still surviving. They have those numbers advantage over here, and they're going to be cleaning off right there and just leaving one left on the field for the Vultures to pick apart. We got wild cards out there in the north once again, fighting duel, wild card versus duel. The story of the night, besides our metagaming story, I mean, these squads have just been fighting. They have kind of similar rotational strategies, I guess you can say here. 4v4. Let's see who will come out on top. Sharpshot going to be healing on up with SKS resetting. You see the smoke out there. 3 members of duel behind the tractor, popping in the Bronco. Oh no!
Ooh, big damage coming in. You saw the headshot on the lamp a lot, and then Kickstart and Tig come in with the follow-ups on the Cherry, and the flushes come through as well. Duel, Dave. I mean, teams are just getting ripped apart as they try to transition.
And it doesn't look like it's working out for him, Esquire.
No, I don't think this is what working out looks like at all. Michael starting to feel the hurt right now. Nades being lobbed onto his direction. Still has one other member alive. Wooly up towards the north. But what can he do? Now Oath can be looking down from the high ground. They can get a spot on this, but they can also get a spot onto the members of Wildcard. What impact will they play in this engagement?
Yeah, I mean, Oath, they've been playing the edge of the east for the majority of this Miramar map. And like you said, they're on the high ground right here. They are almost certain that there are some members of Wildcard down there in the fields, but it isn't going to matter. The next circle pop. Pome versus Zoidmate right now. Pome going to be coming out on top, but with the help of Kodak right there. What's Zoidmate doing so far from their team here? Maybe scouting.
Singularity's having a hell of a game right now.
Yeah,
They've been picking up
good
so many
placements
kills.
last game. Good placements last game. A couple kills, but they're definitely cranking up the heat. I agree with you.
Yeah, 3 kills, but I mean they've all been right in like solo player positions really, where Pome has come up pretty big, pretty big. You'd like to see it, Dave.
We love to see it, especially if you are a SNG fan in the chat. I mean, they've been spamming the emotes all night long. I mean, the support for that squad is just insane. We're gonna see them. I mean, they're just starting here. They are just starting. Taking some shots on Sonic's out there, taking shots on Atletico. I mean, they're not stopping anytime soon. They're just turning it up. 12 teams remaining. We're about 20 minutes on into this game. The final match of the evening here. Week number 2. Trying to make as many points as possible here.
Radiant will be holding on to the far western side of the circle, trying to work their way in, but the final member of the squad, Aguila, will be dropped down by the members of Atletico. Atletico going to be facing off against a few other teams, though. In the process, though, they drew the attention of Singularity from the southern central part of this Phase 5 circle, but then also up towards the north, that solo player from Zenith is going to be able to catch out one. Down goes Nick. He's going to be flushed out of the game. Mystery able to knock down one more point for their squad, and Atletico is going to be actually deleted. Dave, off of the map. Singularity from their high ground position, spot him out and take him down.
I mean, Atletico, they had such a challenging position. You know, they had to run uphill. They were being shot at by Sonics and SNG, both looking down there. They really had nowhere to go as far at the end of the day. They didn't have any motorcycles, no smokes really to utilize and, you know, provide some type of cover to make their way on up that uphill battle. But looking over here, Metagaming in their compounds, shoot the kill, still alive. So Luke 12 was actually able to pick up a weapon from that crate. And now the lone wolf out here trying to survive. I mean, shoot the kill, having a very challenging game, the final game, one would say.
Yeah, not necessarily a bad day. I mean, STK is still doing very well on the leaderboards, but Oath had a pretty good day as well. We'll see how they continue on. Oh, through the window, Metagaming is able to get the flank around to Luke. Down goes shoot to kill in 10th place position. 9 teams now remain in another drastic shift over to the far western side of things. Going to send our teams flying. Let's tune in now with the members of 303 who are on the base of the hillside where Oath is cresting over.
Go down now.
Knock garage. Knock the other.
One more inside.
There's still a guy holding up to our right, Sophia.
Yep.
You're gonna shot from the south.
Go down.
We can hold them later, guys. Just fall back.
Do you have nades?
Yeah,
Two
yeah,
knocked
we can.
inside.
No.
It's still
One
people
blood,
across the
one blood.
road as well. Watch out.
Listen, 7 seconds on zone close. Just wait.
The other blood as well. They're playing north.
I'm gonna
They're
play
not
from
going
the
for
ridge
res.
on my. By the way, guys, I'm gonna hold you from there. I have a good angle of them if they try to go from roadside.
Yes, one blood.
I just destroyed that guy, bro. Hold
Okay.
on.
Can you guys look? I'm gonna look south side, okay?
Do we need vehicle sellers?
No. Don't even look south. We need
Oh,
to
I got knocked from them. I got knocked by them. No, we don't need cars. I'm safe though.
Okay.
You can. I think you come for Star Res, Rich.
Okay, I can hold her. Yeah, I'm coming.
We might push on the roadside.
Remember, there's people on green as well.
I'm looking right side, okay?
Dude, I didn't. So
I whiffed so hard.
It's okay. It's okay.
you can play from the
Pushing me?
building.
Give me.
If
I'm
you
up
can
in
play
1
from
second. I'm not resing anymore.
Okay,
Go
no.
to house from green.
I'm knocked here. They're pushing right now.
Luck.
In the yellow. Right at least. I'm in the smoke though.
It really just cooked me.
I'm outside the door. They're pushing towards me right now. In the smoke, in the smoke. At least 2 guys. 2 guys in front of me.
You can heal. He's gonna get that res.
Should be able to
not getting
stun.
res. He's out. He's out.
Damn it, bro! I couldn't stand up in time.
Oh, I mean, we knocked 2 guys.
A good push from 303 to try to defend out from Oath as well, but it just wasn't enough. Snakers and crew end up coming up on top of it, and they will be able to continue on with 2 up after the res is picked up. Phase number 7, though, is in full effect, and 25 seconds remain until we see another blue zone transition. The Sonics are looking pretty good towards the center, but Wildcard has also been able to maintain this 4-up and live advantage over the majority of the lobby. And it's looking like they're trying to take down even more in the process. Oath is going to be spotted out from downtown. Kodak and Poem, the 2 remaining of Singularity, will be trying to stop them dead in their tracks and try to hold on to the east.
Talking about downtown Esquire. All right, you brought it up.
Let's talk, Dave. Okay, do not plant me on the wrong side of this for content.
You brought it up. All right. You called for the poll. That's all you did. You called for the poll.
Yes.
77% of the chat said mollies are stronger. So I'm glad people finally realized the power of the molly versus the grenade. I mean, it's 2020, Escar. So I appreciate you calling for a vote right there. I mean, thank you.
Dave, the only thing I learned from this is that if you're looking to min-max at Theorycraft PUBG competitive, you need to go to Mustache Dave for the answers.
Only if Esquire calls for it, though. I need
Okay, and I'm calling for it, Dave. So let's see what continues to happen. Shinboy, the lone member, left alive here for Oath, trying to get the 3-peat in the final game of the week, is not going to be able to do it. Oath gets dropped out in 7th place position, and there goes the Molotovs once again, Dave. Gonna be burning. And Poem, I mean, this is a very good storyline right here. Poem started off the game as that solo player, Dave, and now is literally 1v the rest of the lobby. Concedes it. There go the points. 5 teams going to be now remaining. Just over a 2-player per team average. But look at the stack currently for the members of the Sonics and the members of Wildcard. They pretty much have the majority of the lobby on those 2 teams.
I feel like SNG are the only team that denies points anymore. I mean, I know that was super popular in 2019, and I don't hate it. I mean, if you feel like you can't get any further, I mean, why give away a point to the opponent? So I get it.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I think if you can strategically explain why you would deny the point, then anything in the game. If you could strategically explain it, why not do it? Why not do it? Phase number 8 in full effect here. 20 seconds on the clock until we get the blue zone shift into the ultimate collapse in phase number 9. Sonics trying to set up for a victory here, but Wildcard is looking to stop them dead in their tracks, while the 3 other remaining players, 2 for the Houston Hardships right now, and then 1 for Duel.
Oh, in the bush.
And then 1 for Zenith as well. Yeah, Michael's going to be hanging out right now. 0 kills to their name. I think Duel was left with this solo player pretty early on. For the last few minutes, Michael's been quite the survivor. Able to find Malug, not able to get the flush, and not able to find the second member of the Hardships, and down goes Duel in 4th place.
I'm surprised Michael took the shots because I'm not exactly sure they knew Michael was in that push, but I guess Michael seeing a prime opportunity to possibly get some more points opening that one up, but that could have been at 3rd place, as we did see Wildcard crest on over there, frag out into that little dip. Wildcard with 4 alive, obviously with the numbers advantage. We're going to listen on into comms and see who comes out on top.
Yeah, they know I'm here. I smoked my angles off.
I'm trying to cover you. Give him a smoke line. I'm smoking for you, Atron.
I'm pushing my flashes.
No, just come back.
I want to see some.
You guys had that. It's all good.
I changed my flashbang key, man. I used to it yet.
I'm all in middle. One should be in my smoke. Getting it. One's taking the car right now.
One's in smoke, I think.
You guys stopped on green.
Oh fuck.
He's LOS there though.
Right now. I'm going right side. I'm blind.
Green can't push you. East can't push you.
I'm using a smoke.
Just play edge of blue maybe, Profi.
Give me a con.
Nice try.
I should have taken the right side.
A big chicken dinner coming in to close out week number 2 for the Americas, part of the 303 Royale Pro League for Wildcard Gaming. 17 points, Dave, is what Sharpshot, Big Thumer, aka Keenan, and Tiggleton and Kickstart were able to take away in a pretty tense 2v4 engagement. I mean, Profi and Shrimsy are not a duo to really blow off in terms of closing that out as a solid victory. That was certainly still a very heated contest.
Yeah, heated, but I mean, at the end of the day, it was a 2v4, and Wildcard, they had a nice little dip to work with on the opposite end of the road, so they can kind of pick and choose when they want to take that engagement, right? So they ended up getting the dub there. I mean, they deserve it. They were maintaining their presence within the north and making sure nobody crashed them and just able to survive. So we're gonna see. We're gonna dive into it. I believe this is Wildcard's first chicken of the day, if I'm not mistaken. But we got Big Thumer 99.
Yo, what's up?
Yo, Keenan, congratulations on the victory to close out the week.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So I want to ask, what is going to be the plan now rolling into the next week? You guys started out the week, I believe, what was it coming into today?
15th, I think.
Wow.
Yes. So you guys definitely made some big strides. Do you expect to continue that momentum going into the next week? And what are you guys going to do this week to prepare for it?
Yeah, coming into last week, we're a little rusty. I guess we haven't really played like any real comp in a minute, and we had some roster changes in the little short like off season, so we're trying to get used to things. We have a new caller and stuff like that. So now we had a good day today. We had a couple top 5s and we had a win. We had some solid kill games. So now we're just gonna try to bring that momentum to next week.
Who's the caller?
Me.
Oh, okay. So did that just start today, or was it last week as well?
Oh, it was last week as well. We're just trying to shake off the rust and get back into a groove, you know.
All right, and talking about the groove, like how is the synergy right now on the squad? I mean, like you said, it's a pretty new roster all working together, right?
I mean, yeah, Tig is just a fill-in for this tournament with us. Like he's still he's still like signed with Sonics as a content creator, and we needed a player last minute because we're looking for a 4th right now. But Tig's like he's a nuts player, obviously, as everybody knows. So it's good to have him fill in. And then besides that, Sharp and Kick have played with each other for a long time. And then we're all pretty good friends. So we like to banter with each other, and sometimes we make fun of each other. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's all good fun. We get along pretty well.
So are you guys actually trying out a 4th member then? Because you said Tiggleton is just kind of a filler for the time.
Yeah, separate outside of this tournament. We're just looking for a new 4th. Besides that, Tig's just filling in for us because we needed a nuts player to help us play this.
All right. I mean, I'm looking. Just saying.
Hey, let's go. We'll hit you up.
Oh, hey, Keenan. Well, congratulations, guys, to you and Wildcard on the final victory of the day. And good luck to you guys in next week's final week of regular season.
Yeah, no worries. 2. Thanks for having me.
So that is going to conclude all of our games here for week number 2 at the 303 Esports Pro League Season 2 for the Americas, guys. It's been an absolute blast. Before we get into the closing remarks for the day, let's take a look at the leaderboards and see how things shaped up. Dave, walk us through.
Walk us through. Walk it like I talk it. Oath still going to be in first place, 135 points. Sonics, second place with 89 points. Duel, third place with 85 points. Shoot to kill after that. Interesting game number 6 going to be in 4th place with 83 points. Wildcard, 5th place with 75 points. And 303 Esports, 70 points, 6th place. And it goes down from there. So one thing to note, Houston Hardships, they only joined here today. So we see them all the way down there at the bottom. They've only had the opportunity to play 5 games so far. And with that being said, they got a couple points to go with it. I saw some people in the chat a little confused about why they had such low placement points and kills. It's just because they started today. We had the Pink Dragons or something like that drop out from last week. So they're replacing them here in this league. So they did a good job here tonight, all in all being said, Esquire.
Yeah, I mean, definitely did coming in at the kind of last minute.
Yep.
And filling in that 16th slot. So shout out to the Houston Hardships and good luck to you guys as you try to continue to develop that new roster you're working with. Other takeaways though, Dave, from the leaderboard's oath, right? They came into today. The first half was pretty difficult for them, but boy, did they turn things around in the second half, and they were still able to maintain and then further develop that lead over second place that they came into today with. And then you also have to recognize wildcard, like Keenan said, coming into today, they were in the bottom, at least bottom 4 on the leaderboard. Had a really tough first week, but things are improving for them, and very much so. I mean, I'd be looking out for wildcard and how they continue to improve over the next 2 weeks. If next week goes as planned, they'll definitely be in the grand finals.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to be looking at wildcard moving forward. I'm going to be looking at metagaming. They're pretty good when it comes to their placements. I just want to see them kind of frag out a little more to kind of offset that. All in all, we had tons of lasers in the chats today. We had tons of laser plays, a bunch of mollies. Snaker's birthday, not to mention Snaker's birthday. So one more happy birthday to that dude out there. I mean, it feels good to finally be able to drive a car. So it's good.
That's 16, Dave.
He's
what can you do at 18 anymore? I don't even know.
Buy cigarettes.
No, not. I think it's 21.
Oh,
and
good.
and maybe even federally. Well, yeah. Okay. All right, Dave. All right, Dave. Well, chat, thank you guys as always so much here for showing up and supporting PUBG Esports in the 303 Royale tournament that we have going on. This is season 2 because season 1 was so awesome. Shout out to you guys as always for showing up. If you're not done with PUBG this weekend, we've got one more day of competitive PUBG for the European region. Same time tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern for you guys. If you want to tune in for that, myself and Mustache Dave will be casting. Congratulations to all of the teams on your performance here tonight. Dave, before we send them off over to Apples, what do you got for them?
Yeah. Thanks. Subscribe.
Whoa!